Welcome back to Humble Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D. With me,
it's me, Porter.
We are here for the RCQ, or Nationals Qualifier, the Regional Championship Qualifier. I don't know why they call it that, but
Store Championship.
Store Championship, there we go. All the
Regional
players.
Championship Qualifier, they don't call it that, they call it the Store Championship.
Okay, so this is one of those things where we're basically, this is me taking nomenclature from the other TCGs.
Yes.
But the Store Championship right here is going to be the championship to get any of these individuals, two, by the way, are going to be qualified for the Nationals that are going to be happening at the Bondi Card Fest at the closer to the end of the fiscal year. I say fiscal because most people understand that the October is when the end of the fiscal year actually happens. So a lot of these players competing, coming out, traveling. We had people coming from Florida. We had people coming from way out of state. We had
people from Florida?
One person drove up all the way from Florida just to see if they can get this opportunity. Absolutely insane. We had a couple people 3-4 hours to drive out here. A lot of people just looking for the opportunity for this. We had 122 or close to 112, 122, something like that, registered individuals. Only 32 people got into this event. Myself, you were in it. Just FYI, I go 0-2. Not a spoiler, I'm not even on camera, so don't worry about it. I went 0-2, played a really bad matchup with this, and just kind of low-rolled. It was a really fun tournament, though, still. With everybody there, we had a lot of great players, a lot of good competition. We had a manga tournament afterwards, which we'll be covering tomorrow, by the way. So don't worry about tonight. It's just going to be, this is the RCQ. And this one's going to be a little bit different than what I'm normally doing for these streams here. I do love chatting to you guys. I love talking to you guys. So what's going to happen is I'm going to read the chats at times like this. So I'm going to read like the chat now. If, excuse me, if the chat doesn't relate to the gameplay itself, I probably won't be reading that out loud. I'm just going to focus heavily with Porter here. We're going to focus on the gameplay, guys. They're really quick games. This is best of one. So we got some of these games, I'm not even kidding, they're 5 minutes long. If I need to focus strictly on the gameplay, going back and forth, trying to cast out that information, and then once we're done with that, I'll go back to you guys' comments, and then we can talk about it and see how things are going. Because there should be a lot of new players, a lot of new people coming in to check out to see their gameplay, because there was a lot of new faces on this camera. A lot of great people. I really enjoyed the expansion, had a great time themselves. We had 2 great people that got the first and second place, and just very humble people. Very, very great to see them come out there, put out their competition, their best deck and their best foot forward, and walk away with these things after 5 rounds. That's it. The two top channel, the champion's going to be there. And we'll introduce you. Well, I'll show you the pictures anyways. I didn't get interview time just because of how chaos things were yesterday. Yesterday was probably the biggest day for me at Lifelink Games, just purely on the amount of events that we had to host. So just to give you an idea, I got there bright and early so we can get started with the RCQ immediately after we had the manga tournament. During that manga tournament, people were dropping to join either the Dragon Ball Fusion World or the Union Arena. We had a Magic the Gathering draft event that some of the people are in. So a lot of people bleed into these other TCGs. We also had the Digimon, but unfortunately that one didn't fire yet. So we're trying to work with the Digimon community, but we had all these events where I was running around, recording, making sure. I had some great help from Midnight. Thank you so much, by the way, Midnight. That was a tremendous help to have someone in the studio making sure that the camera was working, everything was being recorded so we can bring this content to you. Had to get the deck lists for these things. 2 of them, by the way, you'll find out that these deck lists are makeshifts of what we think they were playing, because their system didn't work, and unfortunately 2 of the players didn't get their deck registered properly. However, we fixed it on our side, but we couldn't fix it where we had access to the deck list for you to show you what these players are playing. So yeah, bear in mind, if you're seeing it from GG, that is not actually the player's deck list. This is going to be a deck list that we kind of like what would you say?
I mean, it's just an approximate of what we think that kind of deck would look like.
Absolutely.
Mostly.
Yeah. Our best bet for it. So the analysis for that is really just going to be about how the deck works, whereas the analysis of the deck list that we do have is going to be like what we think they brought in for this tournament and why we think they picked their leader. So we're going to try and get in the heads of these 2 players, and hopefully we can have some great analysis for you guys to understand how this works. I love usually when we can stop the camera, replay some things, go over some stuff, and study things. It's a little bit different, guys. It's an RCQ, so our formula, straight out into the gameplay, talking about this to let you guys give you that Pro Tour-esque experience, if you will, for those that don't understand the high level gameplay. The announcers come up and all they do, they don't even interact with the chat. They just talk to the game and get things going. Where I want to introduce talking to the chat, and have been doing frequently, But for us, we're going to be doing it in between. However, we still are doing things that I always do because I promised you guys I would do. We're going to be opening up 2 packs at the end for anyone who's attending. So we have a box, this community box, still no hits pulled. 2 of these packs going to go to one of you. All I need you to do is comment like I'm seeing from Captain Little, Kinetic, Carnage, at Midnight, and It's the Mole. Welcome, champ. Yeah, it's the Mole. Not a like. I like that they said that. Not a spoiler for this one. This one, but congratulations, it's the Mole. It's so getting to the chat real quick. Captain Little says, seeing the Lifelink merch reminds me of how my friend bought me a flip shirt because I always got lost when he played the RPGs together. Honestly, I should probably do the same thing. All right, guys, we're going to get into the deck list. We're going to get into the matches. We're going to go 2 rounds back to back. Then we're going to take a break. 2 rounds back to back. Take a break. And then we're going to get in the finals. And we're going to see what deck, who's taking us down here, and maybe even kind of talk about what we experienced. I think before we get into the first deck list, I do want to give like kind of an overview of what we saw and how the experience went. I wish we had the time to grab every single deck list and give you those percentage pies, but based on impressions of me walking around and seeing the decks, I'd have to say Shanks and Dolphy were probably the highest represented. What do you think?
I don't know. I saw it. I don't think I had a single dupe in my matchups.
Oh, nice. Okay, nice.
And I wish I did. I wish I had multiple Dolphys. I would have won those free wins.
Right. It was really interesting too to see so many different Dolphy players that were there. I counted at least 7 Dolphy players out of 32, which is a lot in presentation. And then Shanks, I counted, I think 6 is where I stopped, but I couldn't get to all the back tables. So to me, that was the deck I saw the most. I saw some Blackbeard players, which was really nice. I saw some Floofy players, which was really cool, and we saw some Lim decks, which was really cool. Lim, one of the up-and-coming decks that we've seen win some flagships overseas back when this format was real. I told everybody, don't sleep on it. When 09 came out and Lim was introduced, and they had not enough to make it a real competitive deck, but when 10 dropped, we had all the cards necessary to make it a very, very strong deck. So, Blackbeard round 1 for Kinetic Cartage, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we had a really good, diverse field out to an extent, but I think a lot of people were heavy on, they wanted consistency. They wanted just to get this game over with as quick as possible, rush it down, not give your opponent time to think. We want to end this thing as quick as possible, so that best of 1, we can just snatch that and move on to the next round. Because when it comes to these RCQ guys, best of 1, as soon as you lose, you're out of the running for the top prize, but you're fighting for that top 8. And if you lose 2, you're pretty much done for the day. It's just kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. And we have 32 players, 5 rounds, best of 1, no cut to top 8, and this is our tournament structure right now from Bondi. Maybe Bondi at some point we can do a top 8 cut. That'd be nice. Something. Get some competitive play at the top.
Pricing for top 16. That'd be nice. Not have it be that you're completely screwed out of prizing if you can't get top 8.
Yeah, right. I think, and also that's going to go with the way that we grow too. Because I think next season, I think we're going to be able to host a 64. We've shown that we can do it. We actually blew up the app on our second manga tournament. It capped us and we couldn't move past. And we're trying to show them like we have the player base to go beyond it. So not only did this RCQ definitely cap, we had people still on the waiting list outside, but we also had an overabundance of people playing in the manga tournament afterwards. Got absolutely confusing and chaos. We had to switch from the Bondi app to Melee just because Bondi wouldn't let us add any more people to the tournament. We had so many people show up. So that event, again, we're going to be covering tomorrow. For today, this is the formula, guys. We're going to get in the deck list. We're going to do some analysis. We're going to get right into the gameplay. And afterwards, we're going to talk a little bit with you before we get in the next game. And then the same thing, rinse, rather, repeat. But please don't feel offended if we don't read your comments during the actual gameplay, because all the focus is going to be on how these players go. I mean, I know Kai over here is she's going to come in regardless. She doesn't obey anybody's rules. So we're going to get into it. These 2 packs out there, we already have your names. Thank you so much for the commenters. Guys, let's get into the round 1 deck lists and gameplay for this RCQ. I can't wait. All right, starting off with one of the deck lists we did have. This one coming from Gibson, or Gibby, that we had on camera. This one is a Shanks deck. Her pets are mandatory, Midnight, you're right, 100%. This is a Shanks deck. So this is a control Shanks, right?
I I don't see a lot of the typical markings of control. We're not playing the 7-drop Newgate. We're not playing the... We're not playing the building snakes.
Oh, yeah.
This is a lot more aggro than a control Shanks build.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, after a second take on that, you're 100% right. I looked at the Yasop and instantly thought, like I usually do, that this is going to be a control.
Yasop's been played in aggro more, so that's not really a good indicator anymore.
Yeah. We got the Sanji that gets 6,000 power on your turn, so easy, nice little 7k with a 1 Dawn addition, and replace itself if it's KO'd. You have the Ben Beckman, which is an absolute necessary card for a lot of these red decks. That trash ability really allows them to work around a lot of different can't be KO'd or what happens if you do get KO'd effects. We have the 3 copies of the Monkey D. Dragon, so you have your 8 cost, rush him down, beat him down. Nice 1 copy of the Goldie Roger. Love it. Love to see it because I'm a huge fan of this card. I think it is a great closer. We got 4 of the new Monkey D. Luffy from the starter deck, 21. This one really nice. When attack, it adds a Rested Dawn to either leader or character on attack. So you can make this a 7k swing, or you can pump up your own leader, which is kind of relevant when you're seeing a lot of Shanks heavy formats. Because remember, if you attack 5 into Shanks, it's just an easy negate.
Yep.
Yeah, that attack's done with. We have awesome presents from the 2020 Chopper, like we said, I think last Thursday when we were talking about it. This 2020 Chopper is like in anything in red.
Yeah, no, it's just one of the best red cards right now, so...
Yeah. Rayleigh, nice for good removal and just something you want to have in the top end just in case to get rid of some problem children. We got the Gum Gum Red Rocks, right?
Red Hawk.
Red Hawk, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, the Red Hawks, I think, was Gibby the one looking? No, it was somebody else. It was
I think it was Gibby.
Okay. Gibby was looking for these last minute. We were able to hook him up, I think, or somebody was, to make sure that he had these for the deck list. This is a really fun deck. The only thing that really stands out to me is a Jimbei. What do you think?
So, the Jimbei is a bit strange. It is basically it's 2 cost instead of 3 cost, but it is basically a slower Hongo.
Okay.
And that is like because you put a Dawn under it, and when attacking minus 2,000 to something, so it is 2 cost, but it requires a Dawn every turn. But it is basically just a slower Hongo.
Yeah. And Captain Literal in the chat here said, I've never had seen a win with Goldie Roger, but due to the off chance it could happen, I run one in the red deck. I told you about to encourage others to do the same. I appreciate that. And honestly, I have won 4 matches with this Goldie Roger. Legitimately has closed the game on matches because they walled up on that 10 down turn, and the Goldie Roger was just like, nah, nice try.
Now remember, it's if either player is at 0 life. So if you're on the back foot, but you can turn it around, this turns off their ability to potentially block out of anything.
Exactly. Like, those are things that you can, as a player, maneuver yourself. I've taken hits that I didn't need to take just to put myself at 0, and then snap them back with a Goldie Roger to make sure that the next turn, if they decide to wall up, or even if they were trying to wall up, and sometimes they get some early tell indication where they play the blockers too soon, and then they come in and it's like, oh, you walled up? All right, cool, I'll take the hit. I'll go to 0. Goldie Roger time. Let's clean this up and make this a game. Now, the next deck list we have here is an approximation of a limb deck. Unfortunately, some of these players, their system didn't get the deck properly, and we did work it out with the judges to make sure that they did have a proper deck registration. However, we didn't get access to it. So I don't have it, and I do apologize for one of the players that got on camera and really wish I could have seen what this person was playing with. But now we're going to talk about the limb deck. And this is, again, I told you guys, I love this deck. I thought it was great in 09. I thought you just don't sleep on it because in 10...
No, it was miserable in 09. It's great now.
Yeah.
When they actually printed good cards for it, the deck became a lot better when they actually decided to print good cards for it.
Right. Which good cards do you think that are the most important?
So, first off, we have this Anel. If you have two or more rested characters, Graceful Charity.
Yeah. For those Yu-Gi-Oh players that don't understand, it's just that draw, filter, in hand.
Draw 3, discard 2.
Yeah, huge for filter in hands.
We have this Mihawk that is, if you have 2 or more rested characters, restand an Odyssey with 5 or less, which is going to be most of them. Another new card is this Newgate, which, if you have 2 or more rested characters, rest one of your opponent's characters with 5 or less, KO one of your opponent's rested characters with 3 or less. we have this new event, which I know not everyone plays, but it is very great for this deck, in my opinion.
Okay.
And which is why I put it in this approximation.
Mm-hmm.
This Gum Gum Dragonfire Pissed Twister Star.
Mm-hmm.
If your leader is Odyssey type, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal 2 Odyssey characters,
Wow.
and add them to your hand, and then bottom deck the rest, and the trigger is rest one of your opponent's characters with a cost 5 or less.
Yeah, it can be a nice little stop and attack trigger here. Not to mention, anytime you get what I call 1 for 2. So the math here is I'm playing 1 card for 3 Dawn here, but getting 2 cards in return for it. Those are usually just like net positives and something you always want to use within any TCG. That's the math we ever use here.
Another great card is this Evil Limb. We have, and I'm saying that because in the story, this is the evil version of Limb from the DLC.
Yeah.
Once per turn, if this character would be able to be removed by your opponent's card effects, tap one of your other Odyssey characters. And then, end of your turn, restand one of your Odyssey characters. Very strong. And then we also have this Nami, which was new. It's a 2K counter, which the deck needed more of.
Absolutely.
And then, if you have 2 or more rested Odyssey characters, freeze one of your opponent's Dawn cards.
Nice. Really good for some of those combo cards, and it frees up that Gum Gum Giant that you might be seeing a lot of in these formats, especially coming forward in the new format here. I love this Ronora Zoro here, seeing some extra play.
Yeah,
Seeing absolutely
this
disgusting.
is your main win con, because Limb's effect, I realize we hadn't gone over this yet. All your characters are played as rested, which is why you see a lot of the effects require you to have a bunch of rested characters, because this deck's gonna have a bunch. Tap 3 Dawn as an activate main to ramp 1 as rested and play one of your 5 or less Odysseys from your hand. So you're ramping super fast, and you're also playing things for...
Basically, essentially 3 Dawn.
Yeah, you're playing 5 costs for 3 Dawn.
Yeah. All right. So these are the 2 deck lists. We have Lim versus Shanks. Going into it, who do you think has the advantage before we get started? Because these games can be fast.
I would give it to Shanks's aggro, especially with, like, seeing as it's an aggro build of Shanks, and also the fact that Lim has all its characters played and rested means that potentially it's going to be on the back foot for a lot of this, especially against red aggro.
Yeah. All right. Let's see how it plays out. I'm not going to say I'm rooting for either player because I don't want them to feel kind of bad, but I definitely want to see some excellent gameplay between both players. Gibby, Tang Archer at the top with Shanks, Cash at the bottom. Both players desperately trying to get that invite to the national championship. We're going to see, it looks like Gibby not liking his hand. This is going to take a mulligan. Let's hope that he can recover with a nice good 5 hand, because as the mulligan worlds work, you can mulligan once, right? And then you have to get whatever you get from the rest. Looks like Cash taking the same opportunity, not strong enough. I know that in here these critical mulligan hands, it's hard. It's kind of a gamble. I think like in some other TCGs I've played, the mulligan decisions on like what is worth keeping and what not to, absolutely critical, because you want to make sure that you have the right answers for each type of deck. And this is the way that the One Piece TCG is just, you like, hey, if it's a bad hand, here's a second chance at it. Let's hope that out of those 2 opportunities, one of these hands is playable and worth ramping out and able to, play this card game. Great sportsmanship from both players. What do you think about that mulligan roll?
I don't have a lot of other points of reference. Ooh, this one is on a package that I didn't realize. This is on the Smile package for deck thinning.
Yes, and remember when we saw this before, we were a little taken back because this only has 1 copy of the Smile, right?
Yeah, but we can get it from deck with the Orochi. So this is, I think, mainly just for deck thinning, because we don't actually play anything we can play off this. This is a dead card in hand now.
Absolutely.
But we can pitch it off of a Nell, which is good.
Also, like we've noticed from some players, and it looks like Cash was a little too fast with this, but a lot of players were using this so they would know what was in life, or at least they could do process of elimination. This type of deck list we've seen on camera before had 4 of everything. Only thing that was 1 copy was that Smile fruit. And what this allowed them to do was look through the deck, count how many 4 they had left, and try to figure out what was in life. Yeah.
Realizing that the Orochi comes in tapped.
Yeah.
And the good thing about the Orochi is, even after we've played the one to look through our deck, the rest of it is still a 2K counter.
So it does have some utility here. Looks like it was simple attack for 5 coming from Gibby. Cash decides to take, and then a follow-up with a Sanji play from Gibby. So nice getting that 7K swing
I just
on the next
realized that Cash is going second. Lim is not great going second. You want to be going first with this.
turn. So likely lost the die roll here.
We're just swinging with the Orochi to tap it so that the next card we play is rested.
Yeah, so one of the neat little strategies you can do where you can attack the character that is lower powered. Attacking creatures don't die on the combat, so you can actually enable that rested ability. Looks like we had a 6K going into Gibby. Gibby decides to take.
Okay, yep. And then we're gonna Limb effect, tap the remaining 3, ramp 1, play a 5-drop, playing the Adnet.
And now, so we get that graceful charity we're talking about.
Yep.
Gonna draw 3 cards, discard 2, filter through heavily through the deck to make sure we're getting some of the answers. Looks
Yep,
like we're
pitching the
just
Smile because we can't play it, so
yeah.
it would be a dead card otherwise, but it's discard fodder for the. And it looks like a Sabo.
Yeah, Sabo. I can't tell if it's a beard for Usahachi. Looks like I've got a 6K swing coming into Limb.
That's a green card, so it's a Sabo.
2K counter coming from Cash. All right, Sabo. Good eye. So looks like we got a rush coming down already really fast. Monkey D. Luffy coming in for 6. Putting the rest of Dawn underneath Shanks. Yep. So this is potentially 3 6K swings on the second turn that he could attack. Gibby really stressing Cash's hand and 2K out every single time.
I mean, we just drew 3, so
yeah. I'm glad Cash had the counter because this is a very aggressive start. Do you think Cash needs to pivot to board state at this point, or can Cash use some of the rested abilities to kind of like remove things with like Edward Newgate or whatnot? What do you think?
The only thing we'd be able to remove with Newgate is Sanji.
Oh, just
we can't remove the Luffy.
Yeah, just replaces itself here. All right.
So here, I don't know. The only thing we can really attack with are Leader and Nell.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that Cash should be on the aggressive point, like respond to aggression with aggression?
I don't know. I don't know this matchup super well. I will be honest.
I know preferably through some of the games that you play, you would kind of default to board state control, but you've been changing up your gameplay a lot like recently. I've noticed where you're seeing the types of what you would need to do in here. It looks like we got a 5K. Can't tell where it's going.
Maybe Sanji. Looks like
Cash pick this one through.
I'm guessing the 5K was just to life and we leader affected.
Okay, yep, that makes sense. Good eye. 9 coming into leader. Oh no, into Luffy. Good call. Is able to respond to the board state. Here's tapping 3 to get that leader ability activated. Getting
the Mihawk, restanding that. Now we can go for the Sanji. Nice. Very heads up play.
Yeah, good combo play here. One open. This one doesn't play Gum Gum Giant, does
Can't.
It?
It's not a straw hat.
So what is the one just to ramp? Or is could it represent something?
I don't know. Maybe we're like on Blast Breath or something.
All right, looks like we had a 6K with a 2K counter out from the Orochi, and then immediately followed up with 2 Sanji plays. Right. So 3 of the 4 Sanjis in this deck are already in play, threatening.
I guess the one gun could have
attacks.
also just been a bluff because Gibby doesn't know the deck list.
That's fair.
So we don't know what could be in hand.
Well, it's really hard when you have all these resting characters to negate that extra Dawn, right?
Yeah.
Because the sequencing, the way it works, it's one of you want to get those characters rested as soon as possible to make sure that you enable the rest of the effects. So in doing so, you kind of already eliminated those attacks after the ramp, and doing that sequencing can be, what would you say, a little complicated sometimes. Yeah, it definitely requires some next level thinking because you're not playing the game normally, or where you know how to sequence each step and where you want to attack. All right, so we got our first 6K swing. Sanji out.
Looks like we swung with both the Sanji and the Mihawk.
And this one's going to be a take from the Mihawk here. 5K. I think this is leader effect. What do you think?
Yeah, if we haven't already. This seems like a good point too, but it baits it out if nothing else.
Absolutely. Resting 3 to ramp 1.
Okay, we're back to 10. Okay, so we didn't have a Zoro at this point. I don't know if we were playing Zoro in this build. Okay, we're playing the Sakazuki to KO the other one.
Okay.
That Sakazuki I didn't put in the approximate deck list, but that one is if you have 2 or more rested characters KO, I believe it's a 5 cost or 6 cost or less.
Nice, but that was a perfect addition. The Cash just took the offensive here. 3 to 3 now has how many 6K? 3 6Ks and 1 7K left. Now Gibby is on the back foot here.
Yeah.
Wow. Lim coming out strong.
Oh, Lim can build board presence super easily. Again, you're playing 5 costs for 3.
Absolutely. Here comes 8K swing into life. Or 7K.
No.
Yeah, 8,
I think that's to board.
Oh, okay. Oh, smart. Smart. I honestly don't think going life right now is the option. And you in this situation, if you're on Shanks, you go board, right?
Yeah, I mean, Shanks, in my experience, kind of struggles with go wide strategies, so...
Needs to limit down here. All right, Mihawk gonna hit the bin. Do you think that was the best target?
Honestly, at this point, most of these are on plays, so they're all vanillas at this point.
Okay.
And so we were hitting 2 above a 6K, which is the best
optimal math. Yeah, it looks like we did a 6 and a 6 and a simple 1K counter from that Dark Limb. The Dark Limb. Now, cash at 10 Dawn. Let's see if we can see a Zoro play or something. No walls to defend this one, so if he does play the Zoro, use it as an indicator that you want to start rushing them out. You want to start knocking these players out of the game real quick, because you know giving them a turn with a Zoro could be your own downfall.
Right. It looks like we're separating the Dawn in a way that means that we're not going for a Zoro here.
Good eye. Good analysis here. All right, so it looks like we got 5, 3, and 2. What do you think this is prediction of? 3 for the ramp? Well, there's no ramp anymore, but 3
but
for
it
the
could
play.
still be just play a character for 3. We don't need to ramp for that.
Exactly. 2 for an attack, 3 for a character, 5 for an additional character?
Yeah. That could very well be the math, although it looks like we're separating it out again.
Yeah. Okay. 2, 3, 3, 2. So it looks like I'm thinking 2 of these are going to be attack, 1 for playing a character, and maybe 3 of these for an attack and 1 for a character?
We could have the Event Searcher, the Limb Searcher to play.
5 going into life. Looks like the Cash trying to bait out that leader effect. Once they have that math out of the way, and yep, Gibby takes the bait, immediately says, yep, I'll negate that. 9 coming into life.
Yeah.
Dark Limb rises. Excellent.
That was a bad manner, so -3 to the Sakazuki. That's now 4K, meaning we definitely have to dedicate Dawn to it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially if he's got... I can't see if he has any Rested Dawn. What did he use? 5, 6, 7, 8? I think that was his entire Dawn turn. So I don't think he has anything open. A little bit... remember, the Limb deck ramps. So the Limb deck's going to be on... And it was on even. So it was going to be at 10 first, regardless. Yep. Cash recognized the need to dedicate the Dawn to it. We got a 7K swing coming in. And another Bad Manners Kick Course discard to block out of that attack. 2 more attacks left, potentially.
Okay, if we're doing
Not anymore.
that,
Just 1 attack left.
8, probably into the Luffy. Oh, we did have spit.
He did have the 2 Dawn. Okay. And that one's just going to KO the Orochi, I guess. Yeah, Cash expertly navigating that turn. Well done.
Yeah, if that was the 8 Dawn turn, because we played the Luffy, put a Dawn under it, that's 6. That was only 7 Dawn, and that would have been a 9 Dawn turn. Because
9 Dawn. Yes, we went first. Thank you. Good. Yeah, good math. Excellent. Yeah, so that was just enough. Ooh, 10
all right,
cost.
Game starts now.
All right. So the -1 effect on all of the boards. So this is a 5 into an Edward Newgate that is currently 5 because of the Shanks.
Yep. Probably just gonna try and clean up board here.
Gibby trying to take the back foot. All right, immediate counter out here. We got 6 into, I assume, 5. Nope, it's 7
into 5
because it does have the ability to take the rest of Dawn. 7 into 5.
Such a strong card.
Right. Oh, looks.
Oh, we do run the Blast Breath.
Okay. All right. So the
That's
one
plus 4K.
And now Shank's gonna... Man, he's... Gibby a little annoyed. He wasn't able to clean up 2 of these attacks. If he has counter left, he might be able to survive this turn. But looking a little strong for Cash right now. Does have 3 active attackers, 10 Dawn, 2 life. And we're getting towards the tail end here. I know Shank's a lot of duds. A lot of non-counter in hand. Sometimes that can be to your detriment. Yeah, Captain Little in the chest says, yeah, that always feels bad. Because it's just, you're trying to, like, I need to take the board back in my favor. I've dedicated the 2 over, and they had the perfect counter in hand. And you're like, oh, well, all right, so let's see. Does Cash see the blood in the water, or are there too many resources for Gibby here to just close this game out?
Yeah, Captain Little has a point. Investing that much just to only be able to get rid of 1 body is really rough.
Yeah. The good news is the Shanks does have that static ability of -1000. So neither of these things are 6000 power. They're all 5000 power outside. It doesn't affect the leader, but the leaders are usually 5. Yeah. Ooh, here we go. 8K swing. Is this one going board or going life? It sounds like it's going life. Ooh, if we can counter out of this one, that's going to be a tell, because I don't think there's any rush. No, have to take... off the top! Able to...
Red Hawk trigger. All right, yeah, that saves us this turn.
Seriously.
Because that's minus 10,000 to the new gate.
Yeah.
We're not that thing's not attacking.
Not at all. No. Just, I don't even know if we didn't use leader ability for the first swing, so we still have a leader ability active. So, loading up
Swing
here.
8 again.
What a lucky life trigger. Pulling him back in the game. Is this going to be enough for Gibby to come back in the situation? Cash now feeling the bad taste in the mouth of the swing. It's like, what? Okay, so what's the attack on this, Shanks? It's like, you don't have enough Dawn, bro. You don't have enough Dawn. And it's
I don't even know if we're going for the Shanks here. This looks like maybe the Luffy. Oh,
no, going for life. I don't think... Would you defend the Luffy?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. 8, maybe -1, then 2?
It would have been -1 then the 2k, yeah.
Yep.
So that would have had to be for the Luffy.
Absolutely.
All right, now we're going to now cycle some cards.
Do you... Oh, didn't even swing the new... Well, do you want to make the new gate vulnerable? Or do you
No, I think we want the body to stay around.
Yeah, makes sense.
And we don't need to, so...
Ooh, notice he's got 1 active Dawn, and he discarded one of the...
That telegraphs he probably has another one in hand.
Absolutely. You'd think, or do you think that could be a bluff because he's trying to keep some of the cards?
I don't know.
It's interesting. Gibby gonna check the trash. Looks like we got 3 cards in cash here. Cash has 3 cards in hand. 1 open Dawn, so could have another one of these counters. It's plus 4k for 1?
Yep.
Nice.
Rayleigh, okay, that should clear the board. Get rid of the active one.
Smart. Now Shank's able to come into this attack. What is that? At -3, 3k, 5 and a 3?
5 into 2 if we did the 3k because
Shanks, don't forget about Shanks.
Yeah, no, that's what I was doing.
2 and 3, right? Because Shanks is 1, 2.
Oh, I thought that was the 3 because it could have been the 2 for the...
Oh, yeah, because you're right.
And that would have made the math easier.
Oh, absolutely. Ooh, you're nice and warm. It's nice and warm outside, aren't you, girl? All right. So now able to clean up the board. Cash with only Limb left. 1 life. No rushers in this deck that I'm aware of. I mean,
and even if they were, they would be rested.
So Cash, Gibby just turning back what was absolutely a devastating board state, mostly from life. I think. What do you think was the?
No, that Red Hawk trigger
just saved him. Yeah.
That was so necessary. Without the Red Hawk trigger, we would not be where we are right now.
Wow, just amazing how things change. Cash cannot be feeling good at this point. I really feel for you. Like, had commanding control and just 1 trigger from life. Bam. Instantly taken back and Gibby's control. Now I think next turn could be Gibby's just end phase. There's
4 attacks versus 2 life.
Yeah.
We would need to be able to play out
too.
a bunch of blockers because we do have blockers that can restand themselves. So we need blockers right now.
With 4 cards, what do you think the odds of having a bunch of blockers at this point?
If we can double Dovey, I think we can maybe stabilize.
And what happens if Gibby has any kind of removal?
Well, we just have to hope he doesn't.
Right? For Cash's sake, let's hope. We're putting up those hopes and prayers, if you will. Let's see.
Yeah, we just have, at this point, it's just better have it.
Yeah. And okay, so this is just down to the line. Gibby in the tank. It's got to be making. I'm sorry, Cash got in the tank. Gibby got to be feeling pretty good about this, right? Yeah. Just able to finally respond, get this board state back in his favor. Cotton Bear out there. Yep, hopes and prayers. Hopes and prayers, baby. Again, Marvels does desperate load up Limb and swing into body. I mean, that it puts you in a possible next turn victory. If you can wall up, you have to be able to wall up at this point, though.
Yeah, no, because 3 swings still does it.
And how fortuitous would this be if he does take that route, puts Gibby to 0 life, and Rogers in hand for Gibby?
Yeah, no. Again, it's just better have it at this point. I don't think we can really play around anything. I don't think we have the board state to play around anything.
Here's a big swing! Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Just trying to go for the Shanks or maybe the Luffy.
No, going life. Just trying to say, give me a turn. Give me a turn. Can I survive this turn? It's going to be completely called it. God, literally, yes, you did. 100% called it. I think that was the only option at this point. Like, you're setting up for maybe if I survive this turn, I win, right? Because you could just 15k swing into Shanks. This is the only out for Cash. Gibby now has to fight through 4 cards in hand, 1 open Dawn. We didn't see him activate that plus 4k from that one turn. So, right now, Gibby setting up the Dawn, looking at the attacks, probably doing the math. Needs 3 of these hits to connect in order to get through. So we got our first 7k swing.
Okay, 7 demanding at least 2 or the counter.
And then Captain Literal out there. If only Cash had a deck full of triggers. Yeah, right. This would change if you were playing like a yellow Anel deck or one of the other like heavy trigger decks. But Cash, I don't think we didn't get to see the actual deck list, but I don't think there's anything out there.
Again, if we're playing the Searcher event, that has the trigger to tap a 5 cost, so
okay,
you could tap the Luffy to blink an attack.
All right, and it might just be enough because, like we said, we need 3 attacks to attack. All right, gonna Cash on the take here. Looks like we're gonna load up 9. Nope, taking it back.
We might. No, because I'm not sure if we're gonna play anything this turn. Okay, just going
12k. So this leaving him open with 8 plus 8, 16. So if he can't count out of the 12, the 16 is going to be lethal. Gibby just going with easy math here. I don't need the Monkey D. Luffy swing. And if for any reason you counter out of these 2 big swings, you still got Monkey D. Luffy. Yeah, just to finish it off. So I think the math is on the table, and I think Cash sees the right of the ball, trying to do the math in hand. How do I get out of this 12k? Because if I don't counter this, 16 is coming at my face, and if I can't counter 12, can I counter 16?
No.
Captain says he could gum fire pistol finger.
That is not a trigger in green purple.
Unfortunately. Laughs in Rodman. Love the comments out there in the community channel. It's great. Oh, but Cash in like I think he sees it right in the wall. I feel for him. This is round 1, guys, and to see what all that travel come out here and pretty much your hopes and dreams going to be just destroyed round 1. So I feel for Cash right now. I feel for him. But this is the loser of this one is going to be out the prizing for top 8, or I'm sorry, for the top 2 prizing, and is going to have to win out from here on out if they want to get in the top 8 to get any kind of prize support. But Cash taking that life. Does Gibby split, or does he just swing 16 and say you couldn't block out 12? Can you block out 16?
I mean, 4 cards in hand. If we're guessing one of them is, yeah, it looks like
that stack looks like a 16 swing.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, even if you're able to counter out of this somehow, can you also counter out of a 6k
swing? Yeah, coming at you later. Gibby locked it up with this board state. I think Cash just almost in denial at this point because I can't. Is there any hand that can block out of a 16? So
again,
here's 4.
Blast Breath is a good start, so that's 9. That
10, 11.
is 11.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16.
Yeah, that was in his entire hand.
Entire hand, but
not enough.
Not enough, because we still have the Luffy swing.
Yeah. Wow, congratulations to Gibby taking down the first round and moving on to the rest of it. Cash probably going to have to play and hopefully get himself into top 8. We'll see how that plays out. Right now, we're going to get into the second game, because these things are so fast. I'm going to get the deck list up for the next match.
Also make sure to change the leaders.
Of course. So we'll go to us real quick so I can get this thing set up. Looks like Gibby is on camera again for round 2. Let me make sure I got the right round for this one. Yep, this is round 2. Gibby going to be on here with Shanks yet again. So he's going to be playing up against that deck I told you. You've seen so much representation. That Dolphy deck. Did you expect to see this much Dolphy? I mean, did you even play? You never saw a Dolphy.
I did see a Dolphy. My round 2 was a Dolphy, and I completely curb stomped him. Really, Usopp is a really bad matchup for Dolphy.
Yeah.
I didn't even need to see stage. I didn't even see stage, and I was still able to completely just curb stomp them.
Wow. Yeah. I was a little taken back by seeing some of the Dolphy plays because I thought now that it lost its explosive turn 3 start that we wouldn't.
No, the deck is still really strong.
And I think we have both the deck lists for these ones. So we'll go here. Turn this off here. We're going to use this opportunity. Oh. No. Use this opportunity to talk to the chat, see how things are going real quick, because we're about to get into the next round. I got the deck list and the board ready to go. And we're going to see this next matchup, which I think, let's see, how long do we have in this matchup? This one seemed relatively quick. 8 minutes. Okay. I don't know if that's a tell. We'll find out because Dolphy lost its explosive play, right?
I mean, the deck's still being able to have a 7K swing that plays out of body is still really strong.
Yeah. The blue Dolphy is which one we're talking about, Captain Little. I lost a case to a Dolphy by 1K counter in the final game. Ugh, sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's somehow how these things go. Yeah. All right, guys, we have the deck list. We have the Cotton Bear set. No, we got some chats here. DYK. He uses bottled water in his loop. What? Kevin Little says, final turn, final game, 1K, 30% chance of not getting what I needed out of life and decided it. Yeah, that's the gamble. You got to roll the dice here. I'm glad it was a fun game, though. That's the important part. As long as you guys are having fun. Like, for me personally, some of the games I had in there, it didn't feel good to win, and sometimes it never feels good to lose. But if it's a good interactive back and forth game, I'm always having fun. I like to see it.
Yeah, or you're metering along a tournament where I faced Ploofy round 1, got lucky. Because that's the only way you can beat Ploofy is get lucky.
Yeah, with that deck or just in general?
With Usopp.
Yeah.
Ploofy round 2, didn't get lucky. And then Reiju round 3, which you need to get really lucky and win the die roll. I didn't win the die roll, and I got pretty unlucky. So, at some point, when fate decides to just not let you win, you just
walk away.
Yeah.
Walk away, come back the next day. Dust off your pants, get up, and just get back at it at a different date. I mean, that's one of the things that we kind of had a chat about. If you're ever getting in the situation, this is a PSA for you, where you feel like you're getting into that tilt mode or things just not going your way, walk away, guys. It's okay. It's a game. I promise you, if you get back into it, after it, you can come back with a better attitude, you're going to be fine. It's sometimes you have to recognize the state of mind. Maybe you didn't get enough sleep. Maybe you didn't get enough to eat. Maybe you're just having a bad day. And with those days, you can always just walk away and come back and later have a good one. Because I promise you, it's going to be a lot better for you to not blow up or take it out on other people around you. It's going to be a lot better for you to just walk away from the game, step away, and then come back later, and you're going to have a lot of fun. I guarantee it. Because not every day is going to be your day. You can't be, statistically. If it was, I mean, life would be pretty boring, honestly. So,
and I just hope that one day it will be my day, because it doesn't seem like it has been for quite a while.
Hey, you know, honestly, sometimes the long waits.
He did.
Absolutely. Gentleman on the left, did he give you a torn up chair? Yes, I did. Cotton Baller talking about the state of that chair. I think between my dog and just the use over the years, it's been pretty beat up. Lonely Doombot, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. And Captain Literal, before we get into the game, we're going to read this chat and get into it. Captain Literal says, I love the back and forth. Get the heart rate up. Really makes me think the work to earn the game. Absolutely, Sam, I do. I agree with you. I did lose to a die roll in that game. If I lose on those games, I know I made my opponent work for it, and I did all I could. When I win, it feels so earned, right? Right? And sometimes the die roll can actually determine the way these matchups work, especially if it is a matchup that you know is something like this deck just does not do well against. And the only way that you can get that advantage back is by having a proper curve for your deck. So that is the case for some of these decks, and we're going to find out between Dolphy and this Rush deck we've already seen, which one is going to move on to the next round undefeated. Let's check out the deck list. All right, this is the Xavier Dolphy list. This one looks like it's Jinbei list with an increase of Josu's. It looks like Gravity Blade's still the same. Gum Gum Giant Rock has Red Rock. I'm sorry, thank you. That's a huge increase to 4 now.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a meta that goes fairly tall. I mean, you're expecting to see a lot of Blackbeard and Shanks.
Mm-hmm.
So, against those decks, Red Rock is just a really solid answer.
Absolutely. All right, you got the Perfume Funeral, which is always in there. And honestly, there's a lot less on theme here. So the Dolphy leader is going to be leaning pretty much heavier on the Marshall D Teach. Would you agree?
I mean, we have the Teach, we have the Buggy, we have the Perona, and we have the Boa that all stack our deck.
So we should be able to get there.
Yeah.
Given we have it. But I mean, the consistency of this thing, you're doing blind hits with this Dolphy, not going to be recommended. Because I think the ratios for this thing definitely shifted in the favor of a lot more not hits with that leader ability. So those that don't know the leader ability here, this one is attached to Dawn, tap a Dawn, when attacking, you reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a war leader of 4 costs or less, you can play it immediately rested onto the field and activate their on playability. Right?
Right.
So we have Edward Weevil as a draw card. We've got some extra that gets cards back from the graveyard. We've got Moria. Trafalgar Law, arguably the strongest card in this deck. Allows you to bounce a character.
Mini Jozu.
Yeah, and bounce another character on your opponent's field. You can do this to interrupt blockers and stop blockers from stopping attacks. Boa is your blocking capability. Jozu, another one of those that bouncing, keeping the tempo in your hand. So expect to want to see a Marshall D Teach right from the beginning to guarantee that consistency in for the first couple rounds. Also, this one's really desperately wants to go first, right?
Dolphy can go second.
Okay.
Usually it wants the aggression. I mean, but like our curve is very even, so we don't mind going second. But we would rather go first. Also, I do want to say one thing that you kind of left out about Law and Jozu is you don't have to bounce your opponent's character with that second part.
Yeah.
You can bounce your own, which comes up a lot because you're going to be trying to play those, like your Searcher, Sengoku, bouncing that back to hand is strong, bouncing your Perona back to hand is strong. But if you have to play the Buggy out, being able to bounce that back to hand for the 2K is really strong. So being able to just bounce 2 of your own things back is also very good and should not be underestimated.
We do have a comment in chat about the 7 war leaders.
That's why, because you called him
the leaders today?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he was. Sorry, it is warlords, but it is interesting to say because if you look at this, Gecko Moria leader, is Draco Mihawk have a leader yet? Not yet. Okay, but Trafalgar
He has
Law
to actually do something in the story first.
Boa Hancock has a leader card. Buggy obviously has a leader card. Marshall Teach has a leader card. Perona has a leader card. Charlotte Pudding has a leader card, and Crocodile has a leader card. So, while you may be making fun of me, these are a lot of war leaders that have, leader cards.
Yes, my favorite leader, Gum Gum Red Rock.
Yeah, right? That one's the best of leaders.
I mean, we're about to get blue purple, which...
Yeah. We're looking forward to that one. Gibby back on here. This one, we just looked at the last round. And now back on the screen, the only thing I really want to call out in this one is the fact that Goldie Roger exists. Jinbei is a nice little ad. And you talked about Jinbei last time, right? This is just a, what do you call it?
Slower Hongo.
So, yeah, a really neat tech deck here. This one is the Rush version of the deck, not the Control version. And the Control would usually be like Building Snake or like Edward Newgate for kind of an indicator, right?
Yeah, Building Snake, Edward Newgate, the 10-drop Shanks that KOs.
Yeah, and Captain Literal out here says, interesting to see the Divine Departure. I agree. I think, honestly, Divine Departure, a searchable event.
We're not
you're playing with
Uda
Uda.
to Searcher, so that doesn't matter. Again, but we're not doing the control thing, so we don't need it as much. We're using Gum Gum Red Hawk, which I actually think is really interesting for the Rush build in particular because we don't focus on playing our 10 drops every time.
Yeah.
So we have the spare Dawn for it constantly.
Yeah.
And that just leaves us with a pretty strong defensive option.
Absolutely, especially late game. We're going to see if that comes into play here. This is an 8-minute match, guys. Stay tuned. We're going to find out which one of these players is going to go first. It looks like from the draw aspect, Gibby got to go first. Xavier going second. Not the optimal play and doesn't have Teach on the opening play. So a little unfortunate for Xavier here.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't want to open Teach right here because it does nothing. Teach does nothing this turn, and Perona turn 1 is actually really strong.
Okay.
Because this lets us stack, we don't even need the Teach.
Nice. Yeah, then we can actually do a blind attack if when stacked.
It's not blind because we stacked with Perona.
Yeah.
Taking here, smart. Usually, we don't mind taking a lot in the early game. It's just a matter of, okay, Sengoku, so now we would probably want a Teach here because we just bottom decked everything we just stacked to the top.
Well, here's the Teach. There you go. Going with a lot of big weenies here, but now stacking up in his favor. Xavier's super fast. Knows how this thing goes. Taking the 2 Rested Dawn from the Teach effect.
And swinging 7 face.
And getting
play out
a boa.
The boa. So that's going to be an 8 face after a stack.
So remember, he has to figure out what he wants to draw. Next one should be one for the leader swing. And using the boa effect on a swing to take a Rested Dawn and attach it. So that's an 8K swing coming to Shanks. Shanks decides just to take, right?
Looks like it because I see 4 life.
Yeah. And that would have been the first swing here. So Shanks just like, yeah, 8. I'm not giving you cards for that. I'm at 5 life. You're a 5 life leader. Now we're both at 4. Happy swing.
Okay,
Back to Gimme.
6 in the boa.
All right.
Just trying to get rid of the board presence first. Either stress the hand or. All right.
Yeah.
Looks like we're gonna try and swing 6 into the boa 3 times.
Yeah. Just all right.
Taking the second one, and now we go face.
Xavier gonna take. Oh, off the trigger off the top, bottoming. This is a way to get around that draw effect.
I mean, all of Dofi's removal can get around that draw effect because we bounce it, can't get the draw.
Or bottom it.
Like the only way we can actually proc that draw effect is through sorry, I'm out of through battle.
Through battle. All right. So it looks like we know what we stocked. The Gecko Moria was from hand put on top here. Boa gave additional Dawn, 2 Dawn from the Teach. That's an 8K swing into life. Gibby just gonna take.
Yep.
Gecko Moria got back. Did we see what got back?
I think so. Do you want to rewind it a bit?
Sure. Like playing so fast here. I'd love to see what he was able to get back. Still don't think we saw it. Here, looks like we're gonna get the Gecko Moria. Did we get the Gecko back?
We can't get Gecko off of Gecko.
Okay, I got the Boa back. Okay. So I got the Boa blocker back from that. Sorry, guys. They're playing so incredibly fast. It's difficult to keep up with like all their actions here. That AK swing that we saw already took. So 3-3 for both players here. Going back to Gibby. Board state looking strong in Xavier's favor here, but we know, sort of from the last game anyways, that Gibby was able to put out a good board state. Yeah, here's Ben to trash.
Yep.
Here we go. Nice little 7 into the Gecko. So board state cleaned right back up. Just a bunch of weenies left from Xavier. Xavier rampant, getting out the Dawn, trying to set up the turn. Man, incredibly fast plays from Xavier here. Another boa that he got back from the Gecko.
Yep.
Gonna restack the deck, just bottom all 3.
Yep, bottoming. Yeah, not seeing anything we like.
Probably gonna have to teach it again. One of the downsides to teach, you gotta play a lot of it.
Just blind swinging.
Yeah. Oh, got a hit though. Nice, a little gambly there with that, because those, like I said, the blind swing's not near as consistent as they used to be here.
Okay, countering out 2K, 1K.
All right, back at it. Now has 2 decent attackers with the boa. If you want to attack with a blocker, and Edward Newgate along with lead. So we'll see how this one plays out here. Another, wow, geez, Ben Beckman back to back here, and an 8K swing able to clean the board set, right? Just trashing both, and now instantaneously back in control. 3-2, back to Xavier. Huge, all right, 10 Dawn turn. Xavier down to another boa. At least you see the boa blockers. But every time the boas come out here, it's just been trashed by Ben Beckman. Clearly, Ben Beckman not impacted by the what's the attack from?
Level Up Mellow.
Yeah, Level Up Mellow from Boa.
Meadow.
Just says no. Get out of here. Get out of here. Glad it's not Rayleigh, because Rayleigh's a protector. You know, Rayleigh wants to look.
I mean, in the story, Rayleigh was actually one of the people who helped Boa after she escaped from Mirijois, so
yeah,
it would be kind of weird for. And there was also theories that Rayleigh is actually Boa's dad. That Boa is actually the daughter of Rayleigh and Shockey.
Yeah. All right, so huge swing here. This one stacked up from the Teach effect, getting out the Gecko Moria, returning what I imagine another Boa.
Yeah.
In a situation. This one looked like it tacked into the Luffy, so not going face this time. They're having to slow it down. Now Gibby going into a board. Looks like Gecko no longer.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't afford to go face there.
Got now 3 potential attacks if you want to attack with You don't usually see an attack from Marshall, but D-Teach, but you can sometimes see that.
You could.
Yeah, it is an option. All right, 5 or 7 coming into life here, and then Yasop, sorry, gonna stack up a 1K, that leaving Shanks at 6K for this next turn, and 7K swing. Boa gonna block out of it. Yeah, Xavier not wanting to go down to 0. Oh,
Lucky Roo.
Lucky Roo is a great counter against this deck.
So if we can seal Law, though, we're fine.
Yeah, needs to see it.
A Law or Jozu.
I don't know about fine, but I think you're in a better situation here. Sengoku gonna.
I mean, we don't have to worry about the Lucky Row if we see that. I'm not saying we're gonna be in a better position overall, but we're gonna actually have something finding a 2K off of that.
Needs to put up some kind of defense here. Xavier losing a lot of cards from the Marshall D-Teach activation. He's done at least 3 times. Boa trying to block up yet again. Looks at the top 3. Okay, like the way that the top 3 looked. Looks like we're gonna load up the Dawn here for a potential swing from Delphi here. One of these Sengoku's probably gonna hit the trash. No, using the Teach effect. What interesting. He liked the 3, but still took the card from hand.
Yeah, because it's
the law. Okay. Need the law for this effect here.
Okay, we're thinking on what we want to bounce off of the law. Probably the Sengoku. And saying, no, you don't get to block first. Law's effect gets to resolve before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's one of those tricky things with Law. It can definitely get it before the activation of the blocker effect here. And here comes 8K swing, 9K swing. Thank you, good catch. Love the Dawn here. Is this custom?
Yeah.
9K swing. Oh. Using leader ability? No, 6. Leader, you have to. You'd have to use leader.
Oh, yeah, we were at 6. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yasop. Great defensive option.
Right. All right. Sengoku with the last Dawn here to take a buggy and drop the rest. Okay. Yep. Now we no longer know what's on the top of the deck here.
But we have to Teach up, so.
Yeah, 1 life.
Blocker.
4 solid attacks. Oh, here we go. Dragon. Definitely going for the end game here. Oh, no. Yasop going for board state here. Okay, 8 to Weevil.
I mean, if we can stabilize board here, I feel like, then next turn we can go for a lot safer push for lethal.
Mm-hmm. And I was wondering what the tap was. Yasop on attack with 1 Dawn, I think it is. Can minus a character by 1,000. So Boa's got the minus 1,000 for the turn. Yeah. All right. Looks like we countered out of it. Ben Beckman going to Law. Good call. Get the thing off the field. You really don't want to get Law locked, where you're bouncing a Law to get the Law. Just, it's a misery state to be in when you're getting those Law locks. Okay.
Now we're swinging 7 to life. Probably another 7 to life. Counter out of that.
8.
9 to
There's
life.
Boa. Yeah. I think he's saying he's pretty safe here from the attacks.
Oh, just scooping.
Absolute concession from Xavier. Knows he can't come back from this board state. Not enough swings to be able to take the last 3 life and just instantly having to concede. Congratulations to both players, but still Gibby going on to round 3 as our undefeated so far. Yeah, one of the comments we got from Midnight was like, I thought they were fast forwarding in real life. And I was like, wait, is the recording?
I mean, honestly, watching the recording in this, I thought you were playing at 2x speed.
Yeah. No, that was actually the legitimate speed that these 2 players. Xavier probably played this matchup so many times. He's like, yes, I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do this. And then
I mean, Gibby too, from the scene, the looks of it.
Absolutely. Probably really familiar with the matchup as well, because Dolphy's been around for so long.
Yeah.
That is, Humber Pie Nation, hey, Chicken Tendies in the chat. Good to see you. Good timing. We do have the Nationals qualifier, or the store championship, that we're going to be covering today, and I don't have much time to be able to interact with the chat outside of these windows here. But thank you very much. Appreciate you coming in here. I'm out of bed and I'm here. All right, well, welcome. I'm glad you were able to wake up. Hopefully, you got some good sleep. We have 3 more rounds, very fast matchups coming your way, guys. Stay tuned. We're going to take. And Chicken Tendy's really great opportunity. If you guys haven't, I know most of you guys in the chat probably have already followed him. If you haven't, please do. Really good player, really good creator for the One Piece and other games out there. Really love this guy. Love raiding this guy. Love the interactions we have. If you guys hit him up, hit that follow button, help this guy out. We'd love to see it. I'm gonna have to take a quick break here, guys. We're gonna get some fluids here. Get the board set up here, because like I said, these things are incredibly fast. I hope you guys didn't blink and miss that last matchup. We got a great couple of rounds, 3 more rounds, and one of these players, 2, are going to get the invite. One of them is going to walk away with a Zoro, the beautiful Zoro. Can't wait to showcase who it is. show you guys what we got. We got some great content coming your way, but we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break or so. But we'll be right back. Welcome back to Home Reply. I'm your host, Jimmy D. With me,
Porter.
And we're going to get ready for round 3. We have another Dolphin matchup. This one playing against a local and big fan, Bear, playing his Whitebeard deck, who has now also gone undefeated up to this round. Both these players undefeated, top 1 represented. One of these guys is going to continue on their journey to hopefully make it into the top 2 seed to get the invite to Nationals, and the Bondi Card Fest is coming up at the end of the fiscal year here. And I'm looking forward to seeing maybe some local representation. We'll see. We got to find out. He's going up against a really good competitor, CJ, who has got this brilliant little Dolphin deck that he's put together here. And we're going to go over those deck lists. Again, the format's going to change a little bit for you guys. Please don't be offended if I don't read the chat during the actual gameplay. These games are incredibly fast. This one, I think, was like 15 minutes. A little bit longer. That was
twice as long as the last one.
Right. So we have a 15-minute game for this one. We're going to roll into the deck list. Check this out. Then we're going to go into reading the chat, seeing how you guys are doing, catch up with you guys. Then we're going to go into the 4th round. There, we're going to read the deck list. We're going to go into the gameplay. I think that one is also short. And then we're going to get it, take a break, get into the finals, showcase the pictures of our finalists. Unfortunately, didn't get time for interviews. There was just too much going on yesterday. I do apologize. We're going to make sure that formula looks great, especially this being our very first RCQ. We didn't have a whole lot of practice on phases. And again, without Midnight's help helping me out during this thing, I don't think I could have done it. I appreciated all the support. I was actually kind of happy I went 0-2 in this thing because I could focus on the rest of the event. It just so many things happened. So many things. But happy to do it. Happy to be here. Happy to see who's going to be representing us in Nationals and maybe even making it into Worlds if they can make it there. We'll find out. But first, let's check out the deck list for round 3 of our 2 undefeated top players. All right, starting off this list with Dolphy. Let's see, a lot of hits in here. This one a little bit different. No Perf and Pure from the last one. Yep. We do have an increase of the Gum Gum Red Rock. I think that one used to be a 2 of, now 3 and 4, based on the way that the format is going, just like you said, right?
Yep. I mean, it's super tall format. We got the Shankses, we have the Teaches, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Moving up the Josie to 4, which used to be a 2 of in the deck when Jinbei was a thing, because you wanted to make sure you hit those. Yeah, but Josie just so
it's such a good card. It's so versatile because, again, you don't need to... For the second bounce, you don't need to bounce your opponent's character. You can bounce your own, which comes up a lot. Mm-hmm. Especially in Dofi when you want to be cycling these on plays, like your Geckos, your Weevils,
mm-hmm.
And even things like your Peronas, your Buggies, or even if you need to play out the Crocodile for a quick swing, then you can bounce it back with the Jozu.
I noticed there's a lot of on plays on this deck. Do you think this has a bad matchup against Teach?
I'm not sure if it does because you're going so wide. I don't know. before, like when Jinbei was legal, you were going so wide that it really didn't matter.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe now that I haven't seen a lot of Dofi v Blackbeard, so
Same.
I can't really say.
Yeah, I didn't actually get to see that matchup either. Something I think we're gonna try out. Maybe I'll get some of my Blackbeard players and some Dofi players together and see if we can work something out. Maybe take one of the top deck lists that we had from the top 8. But this one right here, the only thing that really stands out to me is this 7-cost Doflamingo. That's not something you see too often. What's this?
So I believe it's 7 cost, 7,000 power on play, return a 7 cost to hand. So actually pretty strong. It gives us something more high end, some more removal for something. I mean, actually, what is this?
For the Riz?
I don't know.
one of the matching Riz, maybe? It is just a one-off.
Like, no, I understand that, like, this has been a tech choice even when Jinbei was legal. But, like, it's just a big guy that can bounce something back. Like, it could bounce your own Jozu back, I guess. It can... I'm trying to think of what 7 costs. I don't feel like you'd want to bounce a Beckman back.
No, gosh, no. No, that give them an additional trash removal.
I feel like there are certain... I'm just blanking on what it's good against right now, but I know that, like, it is a solid card.
Well, maybe it bounces it is an on-play bounce. So if Blackbeard didn't...
it's an out...
Jesus Burgess.
Yeah.
So
Burgess out.
You can stop that thing if the on-plays aren't turned off. Or at least pressure the on-plays to the point that they don't have the resources.
They're having to get rid of a lot of cards in hand.
All right, so this, again, I do want to caveat, is not his list. I don't have his list. Unfortunately, the system didn't copy over the deck right. We were having technical difficulties yesterday with the Bondi app, so I don't actually have the deck list for Bear. But this is a deck list of a Edward Newgate that we put together from something we've seen on camera before. So hopefully you guys can bear with us here. I do apologize that this isn't the actual deck list card for card, but we'll see if we can get that rectified at some point and put those things up on Patreon for you. Captain Little says bounce a blocker and go for lethal. Yeah, that is an option.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But you also have the Law and the Jozu for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of bounce. Like they had, he had 3 Jozu and 4 Law. I think it was
4 Jozu.
Was it 4 Jozu? I mean, it would make sense that it would go back up there. This is 4 Jozu. Okay, so yeah, I mean,
Jozu's such a good card.
Loves the bounce effects. Trying to keep the tempo in his favor. We're going to see if that tempo is going to be able to pay off here against Edward Newgate, which can go wide, but is a very, very aggressive deck. A 6 life leader, also 6k power leader, that unfortunately has to take a card at the end of each turn.
That is not a downside. I'm going to say that right now. As much as you think that is a downside, that is a free card every turn. That is just a free card every turn. You're playing a 6k base leader, and while it does put you on a clock, you're playing red. You're able to go super aggro to the point where that does not matter.
We got a great comment here from Captain Literal. This is a dramatic recreation of his white beard, depending on events at Humble PO Studios, believes to have happened. Not an actual reality, just a recreation, a dramatic recreation of events. Thank you, Captain. I love that. Appreciate it. So, anything interesting new in this deck? I mean, obviously we don't know what his deck list is here, but the nice thing about this thing is the Portcosti Aces, if he's playing them, do have Rush, because this is a Whitebeard type deck. So that's one of the things where we've seen a lot of red decks use these Aces, mostly because the 5 cost is decently resilient against removal.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's really resilient, being able to blank 1 removal every turn.
And then the other 7 cost one being a beatdown if he's playing it. We do have the Divine Departures potentially, and the Guard Post. I like these one-ofs because of the way that
of course, you like the guard with Chopper on it.
Of course. But you're looking at the way that this deck plays, there's nothing in here that's 10 cost. Maybe, especially for this build. So the 8 cost Monkey D. Dragon being the top end, you're always going to have, at the end game, have these open Dawn for constant, what if? What is it? Is it a Radical Beam? Is it a Guard Point?
Yeah.
Is it Divine Departure?
Usually, if Whitebeard is going to play anything, like the highest cost thing Whitebeard usually plays is the 9 cost Newgate, but we're not seeing that as much. Mainly just because I think people are thinking it's maybe a bit too slow right now.
It's possible. Yeah, alright.
Especially seeing as with Blackbeard around being able to turn off the on plays, we just want things that have rush and can hit hard.
So true. The one thing I do want to shout out from this thing, I love the Toy Chopper. I love that it's seen so much play. It's such a strong card. All right, let's get into our next matchup. Like I said, 15 minutes, guys. Blink and you'll miss it. Bear gets to play. I imagine he won the die roll, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, Dofi wants to go first. Whitebeard wants to go first. So
yeah.
There's a solid chance.
So CJ
right.
gets some
starting with the Searcher. Always good to see. Always good to see.
Now this one does put the cards at the bottom, but at least it gets to fix his hand. Gecko Moria, the pick.
I mean, yeah, you still get a free card.
Mm-hmm. And a potential attacker in the late game if you want to do that Marcus special 2K swing with a loaded up 3-Dawn. Ooh, Buggy.
Ooh, Buggy, okay.
Nice.
Looks at top 3. I don't believe Buggy can bottom deck, but it can still stack. So this potentially guarantees we know what we're hitting off of leader next swing, which is really strong.
Absolutely.
And if we can get something like a Law for a tempo play, we can bounce that back to hand to retain the 2K counter.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, set up the 3, passes back, goes back to Bear. Bear in his 3-Dawn turn, I imagine we might see a 6K swing in a Sanji, like we've seen from a lot of these red decks. Maybe a loaded up here. Here
there's the 6K swing, countered out with 2K. And is that the Sanji? That's the Sanji.
There we go. It's like I've seen these red decks play before. Has to take a life at the end of the turn, passes it back.
Oh no, you get a free card at the end of your turn.
And he gets the blue deck. This is actually detrimental. Because you think about it, this one's playing Pudding.
Oh yeah, Pudding is something you need to be worried about. Okay, Piranha. Ooh, that's the nice championship Piranha.
Yeah. Putting a great answer to this deck if you really think about it, because the one thing that you see Edward Newgate powers up is by having a large hand at the end game, having a lot of ability to counter out of those late game attacks, and Putting just saying, oh, how many cards you got in your hand? 9. Make it 5. Make it 5. And hope that you get the cards that you're looking for. Captain Noah says, imagine having...
Cancer.
Yeah.
I mean, do we know if it was Cancer? I thought it was just
it was
generic...
Yeah.
I thought it was just generic anime old man disease. Oh, there's the Law. Bounce back the Buggy, bounce back the Sanji.
All right. Good tempo play here for the...
I mean, we knew this was going to happen. This was very telegraphed.
It's heavily implied, you said, and I agree with him. All right, so 2K counter from the swing here, because remember, he's at 6K.
Yep.
So nice little 7K, easy 2K counter. I hope Bear is cognizant, because Trafalgar Law still helping him load up that hand. So if we do see a Pudding next turn, I think this is going to be absolutely devastating. But here we go. Here's that
playing
ace.
The ace. Now swinging into...
Gotta get rid of this Law. You can't keep this thing around.
Yeah, no. I think against Dofi, you need to go... Dofi is a matchup where you do need to prioritize board over everything else. Because they can put things out so quickly.
Yeah.
Even without Jinbei, you're still putting things out so quickly that you need to actually be able to...
Interesting. Win life.
Ooh.
That is a weird play here from my perspective. Maybe
I mean, you are on a clock with Whitebeard's effect.
Yeah. So, 2 potential downsides for this matchup. Let's see, CJ on his 6th-Dawn turn. Gonna see, are we gonna see the Pudding now, or is he gonna wait for a couple more hand, the life triggers to get back to life, or to get the hand even larger to make that Pudding play even more devastating?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
it's 4 and 2.
You also have to understand that Ver could counter out if he suspects the Pudding, and to ease it up a bit.
Yeah, I would.
So
I would prioritize countering out a hand if I was Ver.
Yeah.
Personally, in this matchup, it's one thing you definitely just try to keep your hand to a non-advantageous Pudding play. Where Jozu, the play here, gonna bounce.
Okay, well, we're gonna ace effect. That means it's easier to swing into with the Law.
I would counter out a hand if I was Ver here.
Give it a 2K.
Got it.
Yep.
5K into 4, another 2K.
Do we have another 2K?
Please, yep, here we go. 2K. Limit, keeping that good play here. A smart play from Ver to put up something resilient for this bounce removal. Yeah. Another big play for him from 7 cost ace. We got the aces. We're getting close to the right deck list. I like this. All right, 6 going into Law this time, finally.
6 going into 3, yep. Or no, 2, because it's minus 3K to 2 things.
All right. Newgate comes in for an attack. We'll see. Get a 2K counter. And a 7K swing coming into likely life. Makes it's only the best attack, yeah.
Yeah, no. Whitebeard doesn't have anything that can let it attack active characters.
All right. Takes a card in hand. Down to 2 life. Do the Whitebeard effect. 8 Dawn turn for CJ. I don't know the hand strength from Fair here, but at least he's smart enough to counter out with what he could in the early games, hoping to disenfranchise. Is that the word I want to use? Is that disincentivize? Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, disincentivize is putting play. Yeah, we know words here. We have big words here. Big brain here. That's why I have Big Brain Porter with me.
Big brain is a stretch.
The humbleness continues. I love it. All right, looks like 1 Dawn. What do you think? Sengoku? Oh, no, just an attack.
8 into 6. Yep. Can't protect from battle, but just trying to say, okay, we're going to go for board. You're on a clock. I don't have to worry about swinging for life at this state because we can't lethal here. Okay, we're countering out.
Bad Manners kick course. Discarding another 7 cost non-counter. Port cost the ace here.
Yep. Another 6. Okay, this is just a 1K.
Okay.
Yep, there's the Sanji that we bounced earlier. Red rocking the other one. Okay. Smart to keep that other ace alive then, so that we still have some board presence.
So let's see if we're going to have an answer to this Jozu.
Almost don't. I mean,
do you care?
Here I feel like we do need to because we're going to be at 1 life next turn. That puts us in potential lethal range.
Very dangerous. 9 Dawn turn for Bear. Let's see what he has. Again, I don't believe there is a Whitebeard in here.
Okay, 7. That is face. I'm guessing either that or maybe 7 into the Jozu.
Just stressing 1 on a hand here?
No, that was face.
Okay. Here's 7.
Dragon.
Or 8. I'm sorry. For the dragon. Ooh, big swings coming here. 8 into...
I would probably Jozu here because we can't lethal.
Yeah. No, going life.
Going face again. Okay, are we gonna go face for the last time? Do we have enough counter in hand that we're like, okay, we can definitely counter out of a Jozu swing?
It looks like that's an indication we're seeing.
Or maybe we're going Jozu now. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see. No, going face. So just putting CJ on the back foot says, listen, next turn. Off.
Wait, no, wait. That's actually fine.
Yeah, because that's right. He can just -2 for the turn and it just goes away.
Yeah. And it's already swung.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Wow. Okay. Oh, CJ, I hope that wasn't a mistake. Except that trigger, because the 7 could have gotten rid of...
Nothing.
No.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't have actually mattered.
Yeah. All right, 10 Dawn turn for CJ. He's got enough attackers to go into Vare. If Vare has a strong, healthy hand, he could counter out of this.
And then be able to make a comeback, but 1 life is really rough. We have two, maybe 3 attackers, depending on how much Dawn we want to dedicate to these.
And against a 6 power leader, it's a lot more difficult for that Sengoku because you got to justify 4 Dawn being allocated to it just to hit it. Just to hit it for a 1K answer. And that, when you already talk about 40% of your allocated Dawn going to just this tiny little swing that only requires 1 card from hand, not the greatest. And notice we haven't seen too many activations from Dolphy's ability this game. Mostly, I think he's been put too far on the back foot. We've seen, I think, 1 activation so far. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, against Rush, it isn't great because they can just go board.
All right, looks like we got a
9.
10K.
Or no, 10.
Yeah, 10K swing. We'll see where it's going. Is it going for ace? I think at this point I could let the ace go at this point.
Yeah, no, at this point it's like...
It's gotten its use.
We have to do face. I mean... Yes, if we can't kill this turn, we do die.
Yeah.
Although we have a very healthy hand, so maybe not.
Yeah, let's see how many he can counter out of here. Could come down just the counters in the hand from CJ. Let's see.
Yeah, because if we can survive this turn, stress the hand. Like if we can stress the hand this turn, survive next turn. Or if we do go board, like there is an argument for board because... If we can, if we try going board now, and we can clear some of the things on board, then next turn Vare will be at 0 life, and if we can make it so that we have enough swings that we can easily counter out of, try and go for a more secure lethal. Although we do have to be concerned about Rush because this is red.
Yeah, and another thing that Verd needs to be thinking about, because say that goes to life, he takes the life, right? Follows up with a pudding play. Okay. What are you doing here?
2K. 1K. Okay. So that is not enough.
Another 1K. Another
1K.
Wow, it's a lot of cards. So pudding no longer a viable option. I think that was going life. What do you think?
That was absolutely life. So, okay. But now we're really light on hand. Maybe we do load up the Sengoku.
Mm-hmm.
If we had to get rid of that many cards just for the Jozu swing?
I don't know how many cards are left in hand for Vare here. And remember, Vare does have a lot of non-counters in hand. We got a vote for Sengoku in the chat. We'll see if that's going to be the play.
This isn't a democracy.
Unfortunately, all these games previously recorded. So, yeah. What a healthy hand for CJ. Lucky that he doesn't worry about putting it on the opposite end.
Yeah, no, that's one thing I've always wanted is a red pudding, because I have found myself in this situation when I was playing Red Green Lost so much. Like,
right.
I need some way to deal with these decks that can have massive hands, especially when you're playing decks that are more low to the ground that rush.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that your opponent can just have a massive hand and you can't really do much about it is really rough.
Yeah, we'll see. Bondi creators out there, if you want to give us some pudding.
Give us a red pudding.
Yeah, give us some other abilities like this. And these other colors.
Because I know purple has the blocker law, which is a good big hand punish. Black has Isho. And now the 6-drop Secret Rare Luffy from 10.
Yeah.
Which are hand punishes. Blue obviously has pudding. And I think those
Yellow has Linlin.
Oh yeah, Linlin. I mean, that's just discard 2 no matter what.
Right.
Although if they have no cards in hand, they can just pick the discard 2.
Usually by that time, if they have no hand, that's game over. Alright, so in the tank here, CJ wondering how he's going to navigate this turn. And what's interesting to me, this didn't even take half the time limit that we allowed for these players, and there's this much in the tank.
I mean, when you... we're just seeing a lot of aggro. Right.
A lot of... It's kind of what we saw in the beginning for the prep for it last Thursday. Everyone was on red. Everyone was on red.
I mean, red deck wins.
Yeah, Captain Rose says the usual goal for yellow is to make sure they have no hand. Yeah, Anel, exactly. I've seen a lot of yellow decks, so they just want to make sure.
I mean, Anel is make sure they have no board.
And no hand. Just limit it and then going for a game.
All right, Anel goes so big that you don't have to worry about that. Although Anel might be focused more on Rush now that Raigo is banned.
All right. Ooh, we got it going board state here. Good call from Vare. Let the thing go. Gonna use the leader ability to activate, get a Gecko to get a 2K back from Yard from Crocodile. Has a blocker, a thick hand. Vare, you have 2 attacks. Can you end this game?
Potentially, if we have another Rush. We could potentially have double Luffy. Double Luffy would be really strong here.
What about 19-6? I mean, you think a 19...
Well, one gets blocked and we have a million cards in hand.
That's right. I forgot a blocker. Yeah. So we need to one, bait the blocker, and then we need to have enough to get through what is essentially 9 cards in hand, is what it looks like?
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. Yeah. The more I look at this, the more I'm like, red pudding, please. Red pudding, please. Please. Because good grief, this feels unwinnable. It just mentally in the hat, if I see a hand like that, I'm imagining 4 cards, or at least half the hand is 2K. Of the rest of it, maybe 2 1Ks and then no K. No counter. So that's my average math, if you will.
Right.
So, and a lot of people everything's a 2K is how you do the math. It's you gotta play on statistics and probability here, guys.
I mean, I always like preparing for the worst possible scenario, but that's maybe just my own personality.
Yeah. And sometimes you can overthink it. We talked to a couple players, I think, on yesterday, who overthought their plays, and unfortunately, it cost them the game. So you want to be careful not to. There's the basic statistics math that you can use that, this is the highest likelihood of this, but it's not always guaranteed. You're never going to guarantee math without perfect knowledge. Is there anything in One Piece that allows you to look at your opponent's hand?
There are a couple cards, but they're bad because they do nothing else. And they put them like there's one card in purple that can do it, I believe, and then there's the OP7 Black Morgans, which lets you look at 2 cards from your opponent's hand,
Just 2,
and then they get to like draw a card and put a card from their hand back into their deck.
So essentially, you don't even know which one they kept.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Oh no, that card's miserable.
All right, 1 on turn, Divine Departure, resting, get
Well,
another
there's
blocker.
the blocker gone. 9.
9 and 10. I guess that was the math they decided with. So here comes the block. We got 3 2Ks. Here's
No,
10.
it's only two
2Ks and 1K. 10. You got it. What's this?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 11.
All
Oh
cards
my
in his
God.
hand. Holy crap! Just no counters in hand. No counters in hand. Every card
I
from
mean, how many
CJ's.
like I guess it's the events and the 7-drop Dovey and the Boas. Those are the only non-counters.
Right? I want to re-look at this list. I can't. So we had 6 no counter.
6.
10.
Oh wait, Weevil, yeah. 10, 14, 15.
15 no counters, and none of that cards in his hand no counter. Not a single one, folks. CJ with every card mattered. Every card mattered in that match. That was insane. There, I think you did the accurate math. I'm sorry it didn't work out in your favor.
I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, this was the round that I completely counter math was not on my side, so
Wow. Jeez. Just like one more time with that, because I did do the transition at an appropriate time. I need to get the board set up. So this was the scene. This was the round. What happened?
this was the round. I actually played against one of the people we're going to see in this next round, Prince. Who's on Red Purple Luffy, and not being able to see enough counter against a 6K base lead is really
hard. Yeah.
And then when he just was able to like super aggro drop Gear 5 Luffy and just take another turn, that was just lights out for me. I wasn't able to establish enough of a board presence. I didn't see enough blockers. I didn't see enough counter.
Yeah, Captain Literal says, reminds me of Nami game that I was up against. The enemy Nami countered out an 18k lethal
Okay,
swing.
well, Nami has every kind of counter in the books.
Right.
That doesn't count. That's Nami.
Captain, I would be baffled myself, man. I would be.
No, that's to be expected with Nami.
Okay.
And
at that much counter?
yeah, no, you have to be able to, like, look. If Nami has 10 Dawn open, you can't, like, you can go tall for one swing. They're gonna counter out of that, but then they might not have enough for your other swings.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, we got another fast matchup coming your way here. This is round 4. We saw CJ dominate, and he's going to be in the table with that perfect hand to get that last 1K counter. And let's see if this luck can continue for CJ and have him navigate against a new deck that we're going to go over here. That red-purple Luffy that you were talking about. Another 6K power leader. This one at 3 life versus 6. So that is the downside that they're giving away for it. Right?
Well, this one doesn't have a clock on it, though.
Yeah. This one does have a lot of great counters. I can't wait to showcase what some of the cards that they have in here. Loving some of the alts here. The beautiful deck here. Let's get into it, guys. This is great.
Must be nice.
They missed that. It must be nice to be part of the bourgeois. Porter says bourgeois.
Yeah, to be part of the upper class. I think we need to seize the means of production and take all the alts for ourselves. Give the alts back to the working class.
I
think that's what Marx really was talking about. He wanted to bling out his deck, and he didn't like that all the factory owners had all the alts. He didn't like the factory owners had monopolized the altar bond plays.
The other thing I don't think has been blinged out here is the Nami and Sanji's.
Nami, that is technically an alt. The Sanjis could be the alt. We don't know. The Radical Beams aren't blinged out. There are 3 non-blinged out Luffys.
Okay.
Godthread can't be blinged out. And the Rosinantes aren't blinged out.
But 4 of those Mustard Bond plays are
Just 4 alt Bonclays.
There's $100+ still, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And they're going to be, because when Bonclay gets reprinted in PRB, it's going to get a different alt.
That's so true. Yeah.
So alt arts never get reprinted.
We got the Gear 5 Luffy here.
Both alt arts.
Love this. One of them was from the
PRB.
The PRB, yeah. Gorgeous cards here. Ben Beckman ×2. We got just really fun deck. Oh, what's this card on here?
Godthread.
What's this for?
This is a card that actually, when I had to play against this, this was the card that actually won him the game.
Okay.
For me.
What's this do?
KO's a 5, so activate main. KO's a 5-drop, ramps you a Don.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, able to handle a lot of blockers.
Yeah. So in my game, he God-threaded a Zoro, which was the only attacker I had other than leader.
Yeah.
If I was able to keep that Zoro around, I think I actually had that game. But the fact that this is removal and ramp is crazy. This is a crazy good card for this. And I expect that we're going to see this as a tech choice in blue-purple.
Yeah. What is when did this one come out?
10.
10. Okay, so it's a brand new card.
Yeah, this one's fresh.
Ooh, all right. I like this. So great representation. 3 rounds have been won so far by Prince here, and Prince gonna have this deck list go up against the man we just saw on camera here. So we're gonna see CJ's list. CJ is the Doflamingo player here. We've gone over this list before. What more is there? A lot to say here, except for this is Doflamingo.
A very clean Dofi list. I would just like to point out this is so clean. I don't think so. We have 1 of, 3 ofs, everything else is 4 ofs.
Wow.
Consistency at its finest.
Absolutely.
This is so unbelievably streamlined, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
This is a very clean list.
I really appreciate when we can see the 4 ofs. It's just, you know what you're looking for, you know what you need to see, and I think they already showcasing his consistency with a leader that everyone just kind of thought was going to get abandoned after Jinbei ban, but that is not the case here.
No, I mean, Dofi, I remember talking to a bunch of people saying Dofi was still good, and it very clearly is.
Absolutely.
Dofi has been around since OPO1 and has been, like, at the very least, rogue playable that entire time.
Fair.
Like,
Absolutely.
even during, like, the Red Menace from OP2 to, like, early OP4 when they banned all the good red cards.
Yeah. Guys, this is incredible to see this. It already represented itself in the semifinals. The next round is going to be our finals. One of these two is going to be moving into it in playing for the championship and playing for that coveted Ronor Zoro card that you get for first place.
Right.
And then, of course, the winner of this is guaranteed going to get an invite into our Nationals tournament. That's going to be happening at the end of the fiscal year.
And if only I had taken that RP Luffy game, that would basically mean this would have been a guaranteed me
right
into an invite, because Dofi is so easy. Again, like I said, my round 2 was Dofi. Didn't even see stage, and I was still completely dog walking that guy. That's how bad of a matchup Dofi has into Usopp.
Man, yeah. I really wish I could have seen it. I was rooting for you the whole time, and I hoped you got here. But these are the players. These are representatives right now. CJ, congratulations for making it this far. Prince, congratulations for making it this far. Let's find out these 2 players, and I think another fast matchup. Who's going to be taking up? 15 minutes.
It's another 2 aggro decks.
Yes.
Of course, it's a fast matchup. We have seen nothing but aggro on camera so far.
It cognizant, or like, what is the word? It's just a very, to me, expected, because when we did our practice rounds getting into this, and we did some coverage and some gameplay over at Lifelink, that seemed to be the go-to, was a bunch of aggro. There are a few people trying to play the control still. You're always going to see that. But I think aggro was most heavily represented. And to me, the biggest shock for this event was just how much Dofi was represented.
I was expecting a lot of Dofi. I just wish I saw more of it.
Yeah.
Again, I wanted those free wins, and I just didn't see them.
I think that's a good reason why you shouldn't abandon the deck, because I think given that we're already seeing in the semifinals Dofi doing so well here, it might be incentivizing people to just say, okay, I'll dust off that Dofi I thought was dead. I saw so many people after that ban list like put up the RAP Dofi, never again, and now it's like, no, what are you talking about? I'm still here, guys. I'm still here.
Dofi's still a crazy deck. I don't think you should have. Again, this deck has been putting in work since OPO1. This has been like the blue deck.
Yeah.
Since OPO1.
Nami Search going to get one of the new event cards that you can get from the Star deck.
That is a strong card.
Right? And especially in this format. Or in this deck. Sorry, against this deck. Ooh, big swing.
Yeah, no, this hits everything we saw in CJ's list.
Yeah.
Even the Jozus, even the Dofi.
Yeah.
That hits everything.
Oh my gosh. All right, here we go.
All right, there's the Teach. Now we're probably going to see Teach, put something on top, put 2 Dawn under Dofi, probably put the 3rd Dawn under Dofi, swing 8, tap, play Weevil, draw a card.
Nice.
Take.
Oh, that's... I mean, this does get us some Radical Beam range, so sometimes that first life is not too bad. We don't have to worry about the Kid Killer combos out there taking those early life hits. Or the... a lot of yellow players where they... What's the card that really... Kikinojo and the rest of those cards that really pay off in this?
Kikinojo is when your opponent's at 3 or less life, so RP Luffy immediately doesn't have to worry. And there we see the God Thread getting rid of the Teach.
Nice. And good call from Prince here. That the biggest enabler, as a person who played against a bunch of Teaches a bunch of Dolphys during this day, that Teach just absolutely...
Teach is crazy.
Yeah, enables this deck. So 7k swing, got a 2k out. Or what?
That was a 2k. That Crocodile was a 2k.
Yeah, 7k and a 2?
Was that Weevil?
Oh, it might have been the Weevil. Okay, it might have been the Weevil. My bad. Thank you. Good catch. Because I was like, one card doesn't feel like enough for life here. But I don't think that Prince...
No, we want to go for board here. We want to clear up the board as quickly as possible.
It seemed to be a decent strategy here for Vare, who just, out of the hand, not a single dud. Not one dud.
One miss would have done it.
Yeah. Just one dud would have been...
Although also 1 2k would have countered that one dud.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah. Great analysis. All right, here we go. Forward on. And
there's... Yep.
Okay,
and we're seeing the play that I was talking about earlier. We can bounce 2 of our own things.
Yeah.
So we're bouncing the Perona back, so if we need to stack something else, we don't have the Dawn for it this turn.
Yeah.
But next turn we can stack, but now we can also play the Searcher and then swing 2 6Ks.
Yeah.
So we go 6 with that, and then 6 with Dofi, play out the Sengoku again, search, get another card in hand.
Yeah, that's just demand a 1k counter, gets at 6k, getting a life here. Has to dedicate at least 1 Dawn every single time if once gets attacked. And
going for the Perona here first. Okay. Guaranteeing that we know our draw as well. I definitely see this as a very defensible play.
Absolutely.
CJ obviously very good at Dofi. Knows what he's doing very much.
Right. Interesting. Okay. The stacks it up, passes it back. Prince. I think he's now going to be on his 8 Dawn turn, if I'm not mistaken.
This should be 9.
9 Dawn turn?
Because we...
Oh, because you can ramp a leader. No. Yeah.
Yeah, if it was 8 Dawn, we'd be 9.
Yep.
I thought we were 9 because last turn... So we would have been at 5 because we hadn't ramped. Yeah, we hadn't ramped before that. So 5, God Thread gets us a ramp. That puts us at 6. This would be 8. Then we leader effect ramp 9.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I was following that math. I hope you were following the math at home too. But yeah, leader effect at the 8 Dawn turn can put it up to 9. And we know this is really where this deck can go strong. We saw not a lot of 10 drops here, so we're going to see a lot of 1k counters or 1 cost, counters from hand to help keep this leader alive, keep it at 2 life, because it did start at 3, and you don't want to take those early hits. And hopefully we'll see maybe a dragon play to help answer the board. What do you think?
Dragon would be good. 9 cost Luffy would be good.
What do you think?
Rayleigh would be good.
What about Ben Beckman?
Or Ben Beckman. I don't think we saw Rayleigh's.
I know, yeah. Just think
That's
about
what
it
I
again.
meant.
Yeah.
They look similar. Both old men with gray hair.
All right, we got a Marcus special here. Loaded up Nami.
6 on the Nami.
6. What do you think? Going into just to stress a card on a hand for the Newgate?
The Weevil?
Hmm?
Yeah, the Weevil, yeah.
Yeah, the Weevil, sorry. Yeah. That's not on Newgate, my bad.
Sun, we don't know that for certain.
Absolutely.
Could be a clone.
Could be. The stitches give it away, don't they? It's like, what's with all the stitching, man? Are those scars or the stitching?
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, so we could do a few things here. We could minus something. We could minus the Weevil, KO. Yep, that's exactly what I thought we were going to do.
Yeah.
Reduce the Weevil, KO the Perona, so we can't bounce that back off of something like another Law.
And Nami with an epic hit to Weevil, knocking him out. 6k coming into life.
Oh, so that's why we put 4 under, so that we didn't have another body. That actually telegraphs we don't have another body that we can play that's small.
Yeah.
We don't have any other small bodies, so we had to dedicate 4 Dawn to the Nami.
And Prince probably with a terrible hand then.
Not necessarily terrible. We still have one open that could telegraph a Gum Gum Giant, and you don't mind Gum Gum Gianting at 9 because you have Leader Effect that will still put you to 10 on your next turn.
Exactly. Yeah. This one able to really recover from that. I think who are the best leaders that recover from the Gum Gum Giant? It would be black, purple, right? And then this one?
Black purple is only on your turn, so it can't recover.
Oh, okay.
But it's this one, and green purple just doesn't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't care about being at lower dawn. Your highest cost thing is 6, so when green purple comes out, that's not going to matter. You only need to be at 8 maximum.
This is one of the things I love about these low powered cards. Nami just turned into a pseudo blocker.
Yeah.
Right? Eat up an attack from the Trafalgar Law, and you hate to have to do it, but you love to see it.
Yeah.
I love that's what I love about these one drop searchers that you turn into attackers, especially when I'm playing like Smoker. I love playing the Virgo and putting him into an attacking mode because it just becomes like if they try to go board, it's a pseudo blocker, takes a hit out from there. All right, so 7 Weevil gets a draw. Here comes that Gum Gum Giant.
Yep.
Called. Nice, good read from you. Good job.
I saw that we only used 8 Dawn, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
Gum Gum Giant. Again, I played a fair bit of RP Luffy for a hot second.
Oh, yeah, I think we've seen you on camera with it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sen Goku.
This made me think I should bring it back out.
Could be. I honestly like your deck, and in this format, I think it's strong. You just have to go to the right tournament with the right lineup.
I just had bad matchups, I think. I also think... I've been agonizing over what I thought I did wrong, and it's been hard to, like, actually think of anything.
Right. We got a comment from the chat that says, if opponent swings low power at me, I swing low power at their low power. Meet low power with low power.
Well,
I mean,
that doesn't help if you don't have any low power on board, like CJ didn't.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, too. It's like, when the Virgo swings come in there, I want to make sure that they don't have something like a Sengoku or something like a Teach. Well, if I can convince and bait a Teach swing, I'm okay with that.
Well, if they have another Teach in hand, that's not the end of the world, though.
True. But if I can get that thing to bait a swing from that, oh, heck yeah. All right, so we're going to ramp up to 10 here using the leader ability. We're definitely not in a position where we can 10 cost Luffy here. I feel like that's just a concession.
We need to be at 2 life to warrant that.
Mm-hmm. I have noticed, though, one of the nice things about this...
Oh, 10 cost Shanks, though.
Okay.
So go for the loss, 6 into 4, and then we're probably going to go for the Weevil. That means that...
I ain't counted out. All right.
Okay, going for the Weevil, but that means that to actually be able to swing with anything, we need to dedicate at least 2 Dawn.
For every single one of these attacks. Great. I like the Shanks in this build's pretty strong.
Yeah, no. When I was until you see the Red Rock.
And exactly why they moved up the counts from what was like 1 or 2 to 3, 4 in some of these decks.
Yeah, no, because this and 10 drop Teach, Red Rock is just such an easy answer, and now we can go. Now we only need 1 Dawn. Now we also still have Dawn for leader if we wanted to, or we still have the Teach as well. So if we have something in hand we want to stack back up.
Fair enough. Here's a 6K swing. Demand an answer. Gets it. 2K though. 2K Sanji from hand. That's not what we want to see. And that Prince doesn't want to take these life hits. And we're seeing how his hand kind of designed up was a lot of counter in hand. Just a lot of counter in hand after that Shanks. So here we go. Big swing here. He's going to have to take. Gets a Weevil off the top and an additional card. CJ looking pretty healthy. Strong board state from CJ Prince. Now 10 Dawn. 5 cards in hand. 3 life to fight against. I'm not looking like Prince has a lot of answers here. As a person who's also played Red Purple Luffy, this is a devastating board state for me. And looking at his hand, a lot of counter. Usopp, 2 Gum Gum Giants, and what was the other one?
Rosinante.
Interesting. Did we see the Rosinante on the list?
Yeah, we did.
You know, a late game.
Not when you want to see it. Not when you want to see it.
God, I loved when I played this deck with Bonclay, but when I saw those late game Bonclays, I was like, deck, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. This is not
just
where
a
I
bit
need
too
it.
slow to be weren't playing. I mean, it's at least a 1K counter.
Yeah. And decent in the late game, especially if we're playing against some other big tall deck. But here we go, 7K swing. Oh, countering out. CJ not giving Prince anything.
Playing the Bonclay.
Okay.
Playing the Roasty?
Okay.
Do we have an event that we're going to cycle, or no? Okay.
Does this leave us with one open, though? I think so, right?
At the end of your turn, you're able to restand 2.
Okay, so he's going to have 2 for the 2 Gum Gums. Only 3 cards in hand. 2 of them are Gum Gum Giants. Can he survive this aggressive turn from CJ? Because 10 Dawn for CJ. The math should be pretty easy, I think. Especially after he got rid of the Shanks.
Yeah. No blockers, no nothing.
So, CJ thinking this one through. Draws a card for turn. We'll see how he separates out his Dawn. This is usually the time when the player likes to stack it out here. Ooh, just going for a blank 6.
Guaranteeing that we're baiting at least 1.
Yes, smart. Okay,
so now we know that. Now we know that the giant in hand will have to. Okay, we're taking this one.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know that. Okay, so that turns both giants live.
CJ loading up another 6.
Okay, saying give me that last card out of hand if you want both Gum Gum Giants to live.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could still put 3 on the Weevil or something.
We're gonna kill 3 on the Teach. Here's a giant.
Or 3 Teach, yeah, that's what I meant. Giant.
Discard 1. I don't know what he discarded. It looks like an event card.
So maybe the other giant.
Possible. Because using 2 minusing 4 could be detrimental. Oh, Gravity Blade! Gonna use the last 2 to pretty much seal the deal. Prince in a very bad situation. 10 Dawn turn.
Oh, yep, and now we're Teach. Ooh, playing something out too. Another Weevil.
Another Weevil.
Really locking down this board state.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any situation where Prince can come back from this. Just Gum Gum Giants to protect his life, to give himself 1 more turn. That's now 4 minus. He's going to go up to 9 with leader effect, with what's essentially 3 cards in hand, and has to fight against 5 swings from. There's not enough counter in the game for him to be able to draw into and get out of. And it looks like that's all he has in hand is counter. With the 4 cards. I saw a Radical Beam, a 2K counter, and I couldn't see the rest. Did you see anything else?
I couldn't.
Captain Little says, I had to kill Teach 3 times in one game against Dolphy because he would gecko him back to his hand every time I killed him. Yeah. I killed Teach, he gecko Teaches, I kill it again, he plays Teach, and then I kill Teach again and gecko by betting he had a law. Yeah. Jeez, just, yeah, it's the recursion of these decks are insane.
Okay, so we were able to pitch the Radical Beam off of the Resonante, trying to find something else here, I guess.
Needs answers, but he's using 5 Dawn for that.
Yeah.
Just, Prince just absolutely on the back foot here. Looks like an 8K, 9K swing.
8.
Yeah, one of the bottom Dawn, I can't tell sometimes with the triple sleeves here. It always throws me off here. Are those gold Dawn? Is that what that?
They are the not PRB Gold Dawn, but they are the old regional Gold Dawn.
Nice. All right, 6K just gets a simple 2K out.
That's 1K.
Oh, 1K, sorry. Thank you. Because it's 6 life. 6K, asking for another. Gets it. Ben Beckman for 1. CJ still has 2, 3 big swings left. He can throw into all this open Dawn. Just whittling down the hand every single time.
I mean, that makes the most sense. That is one of the most defensible plays.
I think right now load up leader and win. Or he's leaving it up for a BM Teach play.
I think so.
There you go. Teach to close it out. CJ moving into the finals.
Ooh, no counter in hand.
No.
So if we had been able to live that turn and we had a 10 drop in hand.
Oh yeah, I think we could have put in the pressure to win that and get that life back. Wow. Down to the line. You guys saw it here, guys. CJ is moving into the finals. His opponent. I'm gonna pull up the video because I forgot the name.
It's Gibby, isn't it?
I think it is Gibby back from Gibby coming back for the first 2 rounds. So the guys on camera getting the most amount of play today. Gibby Shanks versus Dolphy. We're gonna find it out in the finals. What's left here? This one, 10 minutes. 10 minutes, guys. For this game is gonna be super quick with this aggro. One of them is walking away with the coveted Ronor Zono. The other one
Still gets an
invite and some quality packs.
Oh yeah, they also get the finalist packs. They get their event packs.
Yeah.
They actually got prizing. They got their participation packs.
Right. Yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff that we gave away from this one. So, unfortunately, I didn't get that on video. They just kind of walked off before I could get it. I do have a picture of our winner and our runner-up and the 2 players here, but we're going to find out after this quick break who is going to take down this championship.
Man, this is actually... I will say this is upsetting because it means that if I won my round 3, I would have guaranteed an invite. I would not have won this round, but I would have guaranteed an invite pretty much.
Yeah. Shanks is a kind of a bad matchup, yeah. But who knows? It's best of 1. It's all luck sometimes. Sometimes it's a die roll. Who knows? We're going to find out in a little bit because we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with our finals. Thanks for joining us, guys. If you haven't yet, please hit the exclamation point join right above my head or something in chat because we're going to give away 2 packs. Always give away 2 packs. And this is going to be it for the day after this round. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Humber Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D, with me.
It's me, Porter.
And we are ready for the finals. That's it. And all that up to this, we have two outstanding players who are able to get through those best of one formats and get themselves into the top table. These are the only two people undefeated at this point. CJ, who we just saw win from the last one, and Gibby coming back from the first 2 rounds that we saw on camera, one off camera, 2 rounds in a row. Gibby is going to be representing one of these two players is going to be the #1 seed and walk away with that coveted Rono Zoro. Awesome card. Second one, going to get the invite and some great prize support. We're going to find out what's happening this round, guys. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait. It's going to be 10 minutes. Blink and you miss it. Here we go. We've got 2 great deck lists. We've already seen them already on camera. We're going to go over them a little bit, kind of say probably a little bit of the same stuff. And remember, this is a little bit different format. So if I don't get to you in chat, please don't worry. I would still appreciate something if you want to get into these 2 packs to win at the end of the stream here. But if I don't read it, guys, I want to focus strictly on the gameplay. These players, experts of the game, they play very, very fast. And if I read a chat for 2 seconds, I could miss some critical gameplay, and I don't want to miss it. So we're going to stay focused on the gameplay while it goes on. We're going to check out the deck list. Thank you all for being here. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. If you guys are watching the VOD from YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Please help us get this thing monetized. Help us grow. Let's help get this channel up and notified, because we have more of these type of tournaments coming your way. Heck, we got an awesome, even bigger event coming up this Monday with a manga tournament. And when I say bigger, we had more people. We had a lot more people. And the prize was a Rono Zoro manga, which is
just a Zoro kind of day.
Yeah. It was a really great, epic event. We got some great... I can't wait to showcase this tomorrow with you guys. It's going to be fantastic. We got some great players, some great decks, a lot of return visits from some people that were actually in the RCQ, because it was the same day, and it was only an hour after the event had closed. So we have some great content for you. And hit that like, subscribe button, hit those comments, and just hit the notification buttons when you see them. Guys, it really helps. It goes a long way to tell the algorithm, say, hey, people like this content, and we want to see more of it. And that helps me get these prize supports even better, because the bigger I get, the better prize support goes to you.
One day we might even be giving out whole boxes instead of...
Dude, I can't wait. Open up boxes on streams and just giving away mangas for free. Like, all you guys have to do is just comment for the opportunity, guys. That's it. It's absolutely free to you. And the punk guy says, I want to see more Porter.
Wasn't in the cards.
Yeah.
Usopp failed me at a critical moment.
You didn't make on camera the next one either, did you?
No.
All right.
And that one was, if you want to know how my manga tournament went, was Ploofy lucked out and won. Ploofy lost. Reiju. And after that, I dropped, because 3 bad matchups in a row is soul crushing.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the way some of these tournaments go. You see your bad matchups, and I don't know how these guys would feel. I'd like to see their analysis, and this is why I love to do interviews, and I wish I had them, because I would have loved to see how CJ and Gibby over here felt their lineup went. Like, do they see the right matchups in the right way? Right now, I gotta say, CJ has to feel super lucky against that Bear in round 3, having 0 no counter in hand, and being able to counter out of that huge endgame swing that gave him just enough to finish it. It was such an epic finish. Guys, let's get in the deck list, shall we? All right, so here we have CJ's list. What do you think?
Again, I said this in the last round, but this is a very clean Dofi list. We see almost all 4 ofs, a couple of 3 ofs, and 1 of. Mm-hmm. Like, super clean, super consistent, super optimized, obviously.
Absolutely. The 4 ofs, the constant 4 ofs, and just everything you want to see. This probably the more consistent, based on the Dofi list that we've seen on this channel today so far, out of all the decks. An interesting add for the 7 cost for some extra bounce to make that tempo play the way they want to play it. 3 copies here, of Red Rock, which has been an increase in these decks. We've seen it move from 2 to 3 and 4 on most of these new decks now that Jinbei is gone. You have the Raging Tiger here at 3. Love that one. That one used to be at a 2 or 1 copy even, just to make sure that the consistency there. But now, given we do have a lot of go wide type strategies, you want to have this for the mirror match, if you will, and you have a lot of different late turns where people like to wall up. This is the perfect answer. Wall up? Nope. Nope. Not gonna happen. All right. Anything else?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Alrighty. Let's get into Gibby's list that we saw in the first 2 rounds here. And Gibby is on Shanks. Love this. And one thing I love about it is this Shanks leader, you guys might see it, is totally beat up. It's one of those 15-cent ones. This one looks like it's seen a lot of...
It's not even enslaved.
No, it has seen some better days, I will tell you that. But this man's like, listen, this is Shanks. He can deal with it. and this deck, personally, Goldie Roger, love to add. Love the Shanks top end. This is the Rush version now, not the control version that we've seen quite consistently here on channel that we've seen from a lot of our players. This one, my kind of play style. Beat him down, get him before you can get to on your 10 down turn and just try to end the game there. And as we've seen,
I mean, yeah, it's obviously worked. I mean, final round.
Yeah. We got Yasa up here, which we sometimes would indicate it was control. Nope.
No, now it's just a solid defensive option. Honestly, like early on to 9 format, I was surprised more people weren't playing Yasop because it just seemed like such a solid defensive option for Shanks.
Oh, right. Making it 6k for the turn. You still have that minus 1k for 1 turn for the swing. It makes math harder for the opponent. We got some Rayleigh for a little bit of late game control if necessary. Nice to see, but really you got the Ben Beckman, you got the Shanks, the beatdown with the Monkey Dragon, and just amazing all around good rush build. Clearly able to help them get into the finals. Guys, we're going to find out right now in the next 10 minutes which one, Gibby or
CJ.
CJ. It's going to take this down here. Yeah, I had to print out a QR thing to get people to know how to find the channel. Unfortunately, it's not full screen, and if you're seeing it, you're already here, so you don't need the QR code.
What are you talking about? Open it up on multiple tabs. Run our stream on multiple tabs.
Yeah. Let's have twice the viewers for each one of these. All right, who get the die roll? You think extremely critical for this one because both want to get the play.
Both aggro, yeah. Because depending on the die roll, one of them is going to be on the back foot for most of it.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Gibby not happy with his opening hand, so he's going to have to take a shuffle and hope to the next 5.
CJ is thinking on it.
He's debating.
It looks like we're keeping for CJ.
All right.
See if it pays off for him.
Yeah, this is the critical moment here. This is going to be it. One game for all the marbles. Want to have the best hand possible, but sometimes shuffling away, you could get something worse. You never know. Here's 5. Gonna put out the 5 life. Good memory. Don't want to get a dumb game loss in the finals here. Unfortunately, if you don't, you don't put out your life, that can be a game loss. Oh, CJ with a die roll win. It looks like Perona gonna start off.
Yep.
Good start. Is what kind of Perona is this?
This is the regional participate, or I don't know if it's participation or like it's the regional prize one that it was for the first wave of regionals, and then I would say like because there's the first wave was the full color illustration, the other one was the mono color, was the monochrome one. It was from the same wave of things as the alt drum kingdom that you're chasing.
So I'm always...
And there are 2 of those. There's also a monochrome drum kingdom as well. So good luck.
Right. Already there was a 2-down turn for an immediate pass back, and like blink can you miss it here.
Yep.
Right into Adolphi, into Edward.
Into Otama, into Weevil.
Yeah.
Clear the board. We don't want Dofi to get too much board presence on us too early. We want to actually be able to keep up with that. So getting rid of the Weevil good and early is really good there. Yeah,
great heads-up play from Gibby. Using Atama for what it's usually used to help out Ben Beckman or just a late game 2K. Nope, early game, get this thing off the board.
Sometimes it's just nice to be able to beat into things.
Right. Just make sure that they can't. If they counter out, they're going to be losing too many resources early game. So I like this tempo play from Otama. I wonder if we're going to see Otama slap here. Be insane to see a 0 cost, but oh, here we go. Teach one of the critical cards for this Dolphamingo deck.
Yep. I mean now. Basically, the world's our oyster. Oh, we're not using it this turn though. Just drawing the boa, going 8, guaranteeing 2 cards if we want to counter from Gibby here.
And just absolutely takes it in the hand. All right. Looks funish sorting from the boa play. Back to Gibby. Both these players experts of these decks. They already know exactly how these turns are going to play out. Another Otama play. This one
we're going for the. Oh, we're just doing it again. We're just doing it again. And it looks like that'll leave 2 Dawn open for probably a Red Hawk, meaning that Teach is not long for this world.
Nice. Be a great 4K
Ooh, we countered out at 3
3
cards.
cards.
Oh, we still have 4 cards in hand, or is that 3? Oh, no, it's sideways, so I think that's 3.
3, yeah. Taking a lot to keep this Boa alive, but clearly sees that he needs to keep the board presence if he's going to keep this game in his favor. 4 cards in hand. We're on the 7. What's this? A 7 Dawn turn for CJ.
Yep. So we could easily play out a 4 cost, and then leader effect. If we have like another Boa or something, we could play out 4 cost, teach, or just. The world's our oyster at this point. Oh, it looks like we're maybe leader affecting first. We did stack with the Boa last turn, so we do know what the top is.
Yep, this will be the last card that we know right now, based on that search.
But being aware, swinging with the Boa first. Okay.
All right,
yep, and now there's, I almost feel like, but that's 3 Dawn that we would have had to spend to load up the teach, so probably not worth it.
Now, interesting note here. I think teach was always going to be the target, but I think CJ might have been trying to not activate the leader ability to give him an option or a choice for where this Red Rock was going to go.
No, because the Boa wouldn't be able to be, because Red Hawk KOs 4K. So you couldn't KO a 6K Boa.
But so he gets this off the Trafalgar Law, right? Now he can use leader ability to make 4,000 power to the Trafalgar Law and then use it to kill the Trafalgar Law.
Oh, going for the law first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it would give him too much. Oh, and a backup Marshall D teach that didn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. Wow. Okay, CJ commanding board state. We got a lot of the tempo play. Okay, here we go.
Rayleigh
control.
-2, -3. Ooh,
3 and 2.
Okay. Oh, and now we can swing into that because we reduced it.
So 5. No.
So clarifying that we.
Which ones we chose here. So yeah.
Yeah, we didn't need to reduce anything to the teach to kill it. So that law is gonna have to. Yep, that law is a 3K right now.
Gotta limit the swings here. I like this. CJ, what had a commanding board state now, just with the Trafalgar Law, Corona reset up. Has to fight down now at a very healthy life, mind you. One of the things that we're not counting on here, there's 5 life for CJ.
5-2. So
yeah,
obviously CJ has a lot in favor in terms of how much more abuse he can take versus Gibby. So we need to be aware of that.
Every single life that gets hit from Gibby, just another additional card for some more plays. So hopefully CJ not getting punished for giving up 3 cards so early in the game to keep that Boa alive.
Dofi can get a lot of cards back. And I think that Gibby is intentionally also starving CJ here because you do really want to starve Dofi and prioritize board over everything else.
Absolutely. One of the key wins here, I especially when I'm playing Smoker, was always starvation. And if I can get that plan going and avoid getting Trafalgar Law locked, I'd say that's one of my biggest weaknesses. I only have a few answers to a Trafalgar Law lock in that deck here.
That's an 8 swing.
Off the
face.
top, Gecko.
Probably get back the.
Teach again?
No, I would get back the Boa here.
Okay. Let's see what his option is. Hasn't put it out yet. He's still thinking about it.
I'm looking through our trash, thinking.
Because I know we had in the chat. All right, the Boa. Good call. Good read. Good read. You think playing the Boa right here, the good play?
Yeah.
Yep. Got the 4 Dawn. Here's the Boa. Stacking the deck.
Yep, so we'll know what we can hit next turn if we actually see something good. Looks like we saw something we liked. So.
I don't think he moved a single card. He was like, yeah, I like this exactly where it is.
And sometimes it just works out like that. That's always nice.
Right. All right. Likely in sports set. Yep, this one going into Gecko.
Yeah, we just take that.
Pseudo block for CJ, but also note that Gibby, like you said, is going to be doing a lot of starvation here. Trying to maximize board state. Here we go. Ben Beckman.
There goes the Boa. Now we're swinging 5 face. We're finally going face. Countered out. Really?
Okay. And Sanji for the backup play. Giving it back to CJ. It should be a 10 Dawn turn for CJ. Maxed out. Has Trafalgar Law and Doflamingo left here on the board state. See how they're going to play this out. Sorry, we're in the final couple minutes here, and I didn't want that advertisement break to potentially interrupt anybody's viewing pleasure.
You dismissed the notification. You didn't snooze the advertisement.
Oh, wait. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so
Good catch.
All right, we're just loading up the law and going 9 into life.
All
We're
right,
just
going aggro.
hard pressuring life. All right, is that another?
Just max swing into life here.
That's 11 into life.
Does counter out to keep himself at 1, but CJ seeing the blood in the water because that's just about every single card Gibby had in hand. So Gibby now having to force himself into doing something that he's gonna be filling his hand with just 5 cards here.
All right, 7 into the law. We take. Okay. So next turn is our plan. Just load up the Perona.
Could be. I mean, there's no cards in hand, so the math is a lot easier.
Okay, we're playing a Lucky Roo over the
thank
Atama.
goodness. It needs a wall up here. Here comes 5 to life here. See if
Yep.
this will be an easy take for me. At 5 life, just take.
Yeah, I mean we have so much life. Yeah.
Yeah. Here comes
7.
7K from
Again,
Santi.
I just take.
Yep. Get the resources, man. Get the
We're
resources.
we're closing this game out soon. Another
Yep.
7. Maybe counter out of this one, because we are starting to look. That is a very intimidating board presence.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Counters out, and here's Rayleigh. This one's probably gonna have to be a take. Just too much resources here, but still healthy 2 to 1. Oh, off the top gets for the blocker.
Ah,
No!
that is a crazy trigger right there.
No, right
All
off
right,
the top.
now we can just like load up the Perona and load up the Dofi, swing in. Wow.
Gibby was about to throw and get the turn the tide against CJ, and then CJ off the top.
Wow, we really should have played that Lucky Roo after we swung.
Right?
This is,
Oh,
folks at
ooh,
home,
yes.
this is why we always swing before we play our cards.
Correct.
Because you never know what your opponent has in life. You never know what trigger. And now
Yes.
we're just going to lose the game for it.
Yeah, no cards,
no
no
counter
counter
in
at
hand
all
either.
in hand
Wow.
here.
That is
CJ.
one game. That is
Wow.
one comeback right there.
It honestly could have been avoided. Here, let's go to this. It could have been avoided, guys, had you just played exactly as Porter just said.
Yeah, that was a very easy way to, like, there was a very easy counter to that, and unfortunately Gibby just didn't see it. Maybe got a bit too tunnel vision.
I think so.
Forgot that maybe there was the potential for a counter, for a trigger there, and because of that got punished. So
Yeah.
always remember, swing before you play your cards.
Yes, guys, seriously, it's absolutely dire. Like sometimes the sequencing can really throw everything off on you, and you're just you give the game away like this. Because honestly, I think that one play gave him the win. Just being able to get that trigger. Because I don't think Gibby has a way around a blocker and a Dolphy swing. There's no rush.
No.
Here.
The only thing I could think of, no, that wouldn't even be we knew Gibby was bricked up, so if we had another red rock in hand,
Yeah.
I mean, even if we swung then, and then we could red rock, bottom deck the blocker, load 4 onto or load 3 onto the Perona, swing with the Perona, and then swing 6, that would still have gotten us there.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to show off the picture of our 2 winners. Should have had that thing ready for you. Do apologize here, but in the left is CJ. On the right is Gibby. First and second place, you can see from the cards that these 2 excited players really happy just to be here. Congratulations to both players for getting your invite into Nationals. I hope to see you guys representing us in Worlds. We'll see. I hope we get some more tournaments so we can maybe even see some of our local players out here. 2 very humble, very great players that put up a great fight in 5 rounds and got themselves an invite. Congratulations. Seriously, CJ, congratulations. This is huge. Next time you guys come out there, I'm going to have the interviews because I want to talk to these people. I want to know what was going on in their heads when they came up with this finals. And I do apologize not here today, but I promise I will be. And we do have an RCQ next week. Yes, not for One Piece, but this one's for Magic. So if you guys want to get ready.
The Fortnite card game.
Yep. It's so accurate nowadays. I don't even get offended to it anymore. It's like the Fortnite. It's like, yeah, it is. It really is. They bring in all the IPs. All right, guys, we're gonna get to the wheel. I want to say thank you to everybody. Don't forget, tomorrow we got the actual manga tournament. Tuesday we're gonna get back into the second week. I got to get the board set up here. It's gonna be really complicated because I got to get the points for everyone that participated in the manga tournament, and then who's actually participating in the actual event or the championship series, and then give those points accordingly. because I have the ranking structure. I just got to find out which one of these guys is paid up, so I can go down the tier list and make sure that we get everybody covered down. I'll work with Daddy Lifelink here later today to get that sorted out and get the new leaderboard. Also, if you guys want the deck list from today, they're going to be posted here on my Patreon account. You can also take a still from watching the VOD if you want. But I will put these things on Patreon. You can see these for
Hopefully
absolutely
we can
free.
at least get Vare's deck list for...
Yes. I don't know how much luck we're going to have against, was it, start with a K, Cash? Cash, yeah. I don't think we're going to be able to get his Slim List, unfortunately. We'll see. I'll put up the feelers out there. If I get it, I will post it. You can join Patreon for absolutely for free. Don't have to pay. If you do, it helps out. It gets in contact, and I will be coming up with some really cool stuff. Maybe like Captain Little put out there an idea to print out a pie logo and fit in the black space to either side with the Lifelink logo and the QR code next to the logos. That's not a bad idea. But other things like Dawn and energy markers and all the rest of stuff, because we got more stuff to be covered. We do the upcoming Gundam. We're going to be doing some upcoming stuff for Dragon Ball Fusion World. We have Union Arena, so we have the APs we're creating. So we got a lot of cool stuff that we're going to be giving away in theme to the Humble Pie channel. And if you're a paid member, you're automatically going to be enrolled to get some of these things for absolutely for free, just because you're a paid member. So I do apologize, don't have merch yet. We're getting there, guys. I'm working hand in hand with Midnight, who's doing a great job with the art and giving us some great product. And you got to work with the artist because you got to give them the time. She's got a full-time job, a full-time life with a kid, and a full-time everything else going with her. So I can't demand too much, but I do want to make sure that we're getting some real artists, and good shout out to some real artists out there for these products. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to get in the wheel. Close us out with the last 2 packs. No hits from this box.
All right, and this time the wheel is cooperating.
Right?
No jump scares today.
It has been moving very healthily. I think the only new name we have is Little Pound Cake. Yeah.
Again, if you haven't commented, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a potential hit,
yeah. Decent wheel here. Remember, if you're watching the VOD, you guys could have been here for a free pack. All you had to do was just join us.
Captain, literally, you don't get to pick this.
I'll decide if it's cooperating or not. We'll find out. First wheel, big pull for the day.
Hasn't this one won enough?
Yeah, it's the mole.
I swear to God, if this is another manga.
Oh, we're beating it up.
Well, if it's another manga.
Just beat it up. All right, it's the mole. Let's go. Let's see what we got.
Blue
The wheel
black.
isn't cooperating. Of course it's not.
Ooh, I already
Is it
see
red
that. No, but I do see some of the... Look at that corner.
Okay, all right.
Well, hopefully, honestly, at this point, I hope it's nothing.
Yeah,
Because, ooh, that corner.
that's pretty bad.
Ooh, dropping that.
Yeah. The manga maniac. Let's find out.
All right, we have Boa Marigold.
Another manga. Jimmy finally pulled a manga.
No, you'll see on Monday.
Yeah. No, we had a manga
Time
tournament.
Vega Force 1. Papag.
Can you get
Egghead.
close to the camera?
Sanji.
Thank you.
Dice. Mihawk. This.
Monkey D.
Luffy.
Luffy.
Ace.
Ace.
Foxy.
Foxy.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, that deserves a beat up. That deserves a beat up. Honestly.
I think Matt would disagree with you, but
Probably. All right, guys, one more pack to give away. Yep, nope, unfortunately not yet, Captain Literal. Not yet. I want to get my first on here with you guys. I want to see me give away a manga. But we do have manga tournaments, so when we host them, like yesterday, we had a nice little manga tournament. One of these people walked away with a beautiful Ronor Zoro manga. All right, shuffling it up. Let's go. Last pack for the day. Still no hit. Still no hit. DK-ish! Well, coming in clutch towards the end. Congratulations. Congratulations, DK-ish. I gotta get these things out. Did I?
wait, I want to try something with the.
Sure. Don't beat it up. Don't beat it up.
I'm not gonna beat it up. No. I want to try how Wolf does it.
Okay, right from the middle.
Okay, I can't do it.
Okay. Yeah, I always like to go towards the bottom because it's a little bit easier. Just rips right through. And sometimes the glue for the factories is a lot weaker on the bottom than it is on the top for the sealed factories here. Here we go. Let's see. Is tonight going to be our first poll? Because we're down to the last half of this box.
Yeah, no, we've gone through half this box already, and it's still nothing.
Maha, Gamonde, Edison, Koala, Aladdin, Tony Chopper. Always love it. Gekko Moria, Rowan Orizoro, Gloria, Yurosh. No hit. Double rare pack for Lucy. Dang it! How many packs do we have left?
Should be 10.
Alright, let's check this out here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 packs, guys. At least 2 hits, if not 3. We don't know. Left in this box.
At this point, it might be a factory error box. You might have gotten scammed.
No, I hope not. I hope not. Alright, everybody, let's see who's live. Let's see who we're going to raid for. Nice little Sunday afternoon. See if anybody else is doing some One Piece content. That's a lovely Sunday afternoon. Yeah, I got quite a few people. Ooh, or Samurai. Let's see. It's good here. Alright. See some tabletop. I'm going to go with the Orange Samurai. Good guy. Did the coverage, by the way, for the Nationals and has been working well with Eggman and our Egghead. Or what's it? Eggman. Thank you. And these two did a great job. A really good job of covering the Nationals event. Got to tour out there. Good, solid creator. I got a chance to say hi to him. Didn't get to communicate too much. I don't think he knew who I was. Likely not, because he's a little bit bigger than us. But
a little bit, 136 viewers to our not that.
Yeah, it's all right. Great player, great commentator. Love to see his stuff, and he's paper too, so that's always good for me. Let's do a raid for Orange Samurai here, and I want to say thank you very much. I got a raid box. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Doing our raid. We're gonna get this thing out there, guys. Hit the like and follow button. I appreciate y'all for being here.
Only 2 more followers, and we'll hit our goal.
490. All right, Chicken Tennies. Good to see you. W stream. Thank you very much. I like seeing your streams too. Thanks, Chicken Tendies. Always good to see you guys. Let's have a great, awesome Sunday. Thanks for being here with us. I hope you've earned your like and subscription.
We'll see ya.
As always, stay humble. I think it went too early.
Oh well.